What about the World Cup? Is the US of A ready for the World Cup? I went out with producer Luke and assistant producer Joe in the streets of Lower Manhattan yesterday, and we kind of gauged the feeling. You lot ready for this?
I think the country will probably be most into it right in the group stage because that's probably when we're going to do the best, unfortunately. You know, I think there are great soccer towns in America. I'm not sure New York is one of them.
Not that much this year, to be honest. With the Knicks in the finals, I think that's taken the attention of the city.
It doesn't sound like they're buying tickets, so, I mean, only so much. Yeah. I mean, they're not really buying into it. Did they not sell out the first game? Is that what I heard?
I don't follow soccer that much, so no. And then as a person that lives here, it's going to be quite disruptive for us. So, you know, but hey, should be a good event, hopefully.
Yeah, I think it's at MetLife Stadium, so there's a lot of attraction there. You know, the Giants play there, the Jets play there, so there's going to be a lot of people flying in from overseas to check out the games for sure. Yeah.
So it's the biggest World Cup ever. Might it be the best World Cup ever?
I hope so.
Yeah.
I mean, right now it's just Knicks, you know, but we'll get to the World Cup when we get there.
Gotta watch something. Gotta support everybody.
Okay, and the USA are in it. Obviously, they're one of the host nations.
But we ain't gonna win.
No, who'll win it?
More likely gonna be Spain.
Yeah, probably. How's Birmingham, Alabama?
Hot, mosquitoes, a lot of loud talking people.
Birmingham, Alabama. Wow, as the song goes.
That's where you can say howdy, y'all.
Howdy, y'all. I'll remember that next time when I'm down in that part of the world. Do you think this place is ready for it?
Yeah, I've been around to a lot of the cities now, most of them actually, and they're ready. This is a little bit different here just because the Knicks are in the final. If the Knicks weren't in the final, it would be a little bit more prepped with regard. And don't forget that it's also in New Jersey where the stadium is, not in central New York. And if you're on Manhattan, you're in another goldfish bowl, as Simon will know from being here. So the U.S. is ready. For the last 2 weeks, it's the first time that I've noticed that the World Cup's here and people are getting ready for it.
Hello and welcome to the Sports Bar with me, Rory, Jennings, alongside the legend that is Dean Saunders. The World Cup is officially underway as Mexico beat South Africa 2-0 in the opening game of the tournament. What did you make of that first game? We really do want to hear from you. Give us a ring, 03717 223344. It got off to a very interesting start, that World Cup. I thought it was really, really good. It was an excellent game, but we obviously have to talk about the refereeing. 3 red cards in the first game of the tournament. Could this be a theme for what we are going to see in this tournament? Also, Wolverhampton Wanderers, they have parted ways with manager Rob Evans as he finds out who is replacing him via social media. What on earth has happened there? And we're going to be joined by a host of guests across the pond as we look back on Mexico's victory and get the latest on Scotland going ahead on their opening game against Haiti. Get involved. We can't do the show without you. 03717 223344. And a reminder that you can now watch us live on YouTube and Smart TV. This is the Sports Bar on talkSPORT. Dean Saunders.
Good evening. It's a bit strange, isn't it? The no talkSPORT.
No, I know.
Sports bar music.
We're expecting the Oasis there, aren't we? We're expecting the Oasis theme tune. So it's all a little bit different. But yeah, the World Cup is officially underway. How are you feeling?
Great, yeah. it was a brilliant setting, wasn't it? At the start of the game, I thought both teams. If I was going to be harsh, both teams quite average, really. Mexico deserved to win, but self-destruct there. For 8 minutes it took South Africa play out from the back. I mean, I was sitting there thinking, don't start this again. 8 minutes into the game, give a goal away, and then I thought Mexico never shut the door on South Africa. And although they look punchless, you always get a chance. And then we got 3 red cards. Jimenez, what's going through his mind now? Rob Edwards has just been sacked. Who's just signed him.
I know. It's unbelievable. It's huge.
And he scores
huge,
a goal tonight.
huge to see Raul Jimenez scoring a goal
Yeah.
at the Azteca in a World Cup when you think there was a chance that he shouldn't even be playing football at the moment.
Yeah,
I mean, there's a chance that it could have been a lot worse.
Yeah.
So, no, it's an amazing sight to see Raul Jimenez scoring like that. And the World Cup is officially underway. It does feel brilliant. Like, to see the World Cup get underway in one of the most storied and historic venues, that is Azteca. It's an amazing historic moment, isn't it?
Well, if you remember when Pele, that game where Pele's received the pass about 35 yards from goal, and he just controls it, and coming on the outside of him was the right back?
Carlos Alberto,
Carlos
Alberto
was bombing on the big, looked the same shape as Viv Anderson. Remember that?
Yeah.
Like 6'4", athletic. And Pele just started walking with the ball and just rolled it in his path. And as he hit it, it bobbled.
Yeah.
And hit the side netting. It was that, and then Pele scored a header.
Yeah, that goal, isn't it? That goal is seen as being the sort of home of. It's the representation of that brilliant 1970 Brazil team. That goal, the way they moved the ball from one side of the pitch to the other, falls to Pele. Pele opens it up. Carlos Alberto smashes it home, and that's the thing with that venue. I mean, it was a good game. It was an eventful game. It wasn't particularly high in quality, but Mexico will be over the moon. Like, that celebration from Raul Jimenez will live long in the memory, won't it?
Yeah, and. Well, we were watching it together, and I was saying they've left the door open. South Africa are going to get a chance here. Can see what's going to happen. They've not finished them off, but Jimenez scored the goal. But, by the way, I've got to mention it. I might be getting a bit old. I don't know about you. I'm older than you.
Right.
But the opening ceremony.
Yeah.
I thought it was a Eurovision Song Contest. You know, there's different singers coming on. I've never heard of any of them. And maybe they were all Mexican, maybe.
Yeah. I'm kind of with you. Like, I don't get too excited about things like that, but I don't really think it's for us, Dean. You know, that kind of. I don't think it's for us. We're the football fans, aren't we? We're in it for the football. We're waiting for the football. I think that sort of kaleidoscope of colour. It's not for football fans.
But it was like bringing non-stop different singers singing. But I thought the Killers were good. Were they in the Champions League final? Didn't they? The Killers come on before the game.
Almost definitely. The only Champions League final singer I can ever remember is Dua Lipa.
Oh, yeah.
That's the only one I can remember. I have no interest in this. Like, for me, it will always be about the football. It'll be about the football, and then I guess if there's a World Cup in America, I'll think about Diana Ross taking a penalty.
Yeah.
But in terms of she missed. I know. That's what they should have done. That's what they should have done. They should have got her taking a penalty and scoring.
That's the low point of her career. Missing that pen.
Or high point, having the opportunity to do it. For Mexico, though, ideal. And I think it's
good win.
For a tournament when you have one of the host nations doing well. I think it makes the tournament better, more vibrant, more interesting if the host nation's fans are totally enthused by the tournament.
Yeah, and I was saying to you earlier, I was out there, was it last year or the year before? I think I managed Rio Ferdinand's 7-a-side team in the Kings League World Cup.
Oh, yeah.
In Mexico. And it was, even for 7-a-side, the fans are so enthusiastic about football over there.
Yeah.
And there's 100-odd thousand. Get that in your head then. There's 100-odd thousand Mexicans in the stadium. They're all raring to go, desperate to start cheering the team on. And the South African goalkeeper rolls an intensive care pass into the middle of midfield when the midfield player doesn't know where he is.
I never
and they lose a goal.
Dean, look, you played the game at the highest level. I most certainly didn't. But what I can't process is when I see a professional footballer rolling the ball, when a keeper rolls it straight. There's no perspective. If you're picking the ball up in that position, you have no perspective of what's going on. Look, I'm all for playing out from the back if that's what you want to do. But you have to give it on the angle. Totally straight. The second that you're dispossessed, you're almost definitely conceding a goal.
I used to say to the goalkeepers when at my teams, never give it to a midfield player unless he's on the half turn. Yeah. And I say to the midfield players, you need to get wing mirrors on. You know, the wing mirrors. You
Yeah.
need to have them on at all times. But
8 minutes into a game, 8 minutes into a game where you have that ferocious intensity of a World Cup, you're playing effectively in the home stadium of the host nation. 8 minutes in, surely the instruction is keep it tight, don't press the self-destruct button, don't do anything drastic, just look after the ball.
Well, I know what the argument is. Like, people go, well, that's modern day football. But I understand. This is what the comeback is. What do you want us to do? Just hoof it up the pitch? Well, no. You have some sort of plan where the ball's going to go, which side of the pitch you're going to ping it. It's a long ping. And if you lose the ball in that aerial battle, they've got 10 players to get past to score.
Yeah.
If you lose it in the 6-yard box, they haven't got any players
to beat. Yeah.
Just to keep it a beat. So it's just self-destruct. But anyway,
I'll tell you
good
what was
start.
nice though. Do you know what is nice? For so long around this World Cup, I feel like there's been a geopolitical conversation. There's been so many sort of political issues to this tournament. People have been focusing on it. People have been having these sorts of almost distracting conversations. Do you know what I thought was brilliant? Forget how expensive the ticket prices are. As appalling as it is, that's what they are. And when you see the stadium packed, when you see those Mexican fans going potty in the stadium, when you see the colour and the passion, that's what it's all about. And it's nice to get that reminder. And I was also quite proud of the Mexican fans. Did you see them booing Infantino when his name was read out? which I thought was absolutely brilliant. Dee, we have a first caller of the night. If you want to get in touch, give us a ring. 03717 223344 is the phone number to call. That's the number that Simon, who's a West Ham fan, called. Simon, you're live on talkSPORT, sir.
Hi, Simon.
How you doing? You all right?
Yeah, good. How are you?
Yeah, I just wanted to clear something up because I heard you saying about where it was Diana Ross this evening. I think basically this time round there was more chance of her falling apart than the actual goal. She had so much surgery done, so I just thought I wanted to clear that up for you.
Oh, well, it was a bad pen, wasn't it?
It was, yeah.
Diana Ross's pen.
Yeah,
I think she had the wrong footwear on.
Yeah, it wasn't the best penalty I've ever seen. Is that what you called up for, Simon?
Yeah, I just wanted to clear that out because actually I thought, hang on a minute, there's a reason for that. It's because she's actually like she's held together by tape nowadays.
To be fair, right? She must be 80, is she? She must be 80. She looks really good for her age.
Yeah, funny that, isn't it?
Yeah, but I mean,
Simon, what are you up to? Where are you?
I'm actually on crutches at the moment, just going to my mate's house.
What, have you had a bit of surgery?
No.
Well,
oh God, I shouldn't say that on radio.
Are you in constant pain with that?
Yeah. Well, yeah, I'm quite hard. So,
well, so you're laughing at someone else. At least you're laughing anyway.
Yeah. Well, that was an interesting first call of the night there from Simon. I hope
Diana Ross.
So Diana Ross. He wants to have a pop at Diana Ross. I'll tell you what, Diana Ross will come in for no stick whilst I'm in charge of the sports bar. Absolutely not. There's one thing that's...
Oh, it's a bad pen, Rory.
It's a bad pen.
It was a bad pen.
It wasn't a
have
great
a look in the mirror.
It wasn't the worst penalty of that tournament, though. Was it? Roberto Baggio's got that record. It wasn't even the worst penalty of that tournament. But no, I can certainly live with Diana Ross being brought up. If you want to get in touch, 03717 223344. Just a joy to have this World Cup underway, innit?
Yeah, after what we've just... The end of the season with Arsenal and Man City going for and whether Arsenal were going to blow it. And then we got to the Champions League final, didn't we, a few days after the season finished. And are Arsenal going to beat PSG? Great game, went to penalties. And then as soon as that finished, on to the World Cup, which we've been waiting for.
Yeah, it's brilliant. It really is brilliant. Do you know what I was thinking as well, Dean? If according to my wall planner at home, if it goes as I've planned it, England are going to play Mexico. Did you see anything in that Mexico performance tonight that suggests that England should be scared?
No, that's the best I've seen England play last night. I have took into account that Costa Rica weren't brilliant, but I thought England's approach to the game, I don't know if you noticed, from the kickoff, right from the kickoff, Jude Bellingham chases the left back down. They've rolled the ball to the left back and block tackles the left back from the kickoff, and that sets the tone. This is what we're doing today. Every time we lose the ball, 5 of them were like a pack of wolves, which is what Liverpool were famous for at one point under Jurgen Klopp. You got 6 seconds to win the ball back.
Yeah.
and they were doing that. You could see they were doing that, stealing the ball off the opposition. I thought Gordon, Maduaki, we're going to talk about England later, aren't we?
Yeah.
But I thought there was a lot of good performances out there, and I think if they were playing Mexico tomorrow, I think England would beat them.
Yeah.
Quite comfortably.
That is a joy to hear. Get in touch if you want to have your say on anything World Cup. 03717 223344. We are going to continue talking about Mexico winning the opening game of the 2026 World Cup. Remember, have your say. 03717 223344. You are listening to World Cup Sports Bar on talkSPORT, brought to you by Burger King Burger Buddies. Total tournament satisfaction delivered by the experts. Order now on the BK app.
I thought that the 21 players today were absolutely brilliant. They all played well. The only person I didn't think contributed very much down the right was James. I was very disappointed with him. He didn't really support the winger, and that was a concern, not like the left-hand side, which was absolutely brilliant. But one other point I just want to bring up, we made 11 substitutes. You can't do that in the World Cup, I'm afraid. You know, we're going to have to keep some of the players on, and as long as the back four keep okay, we'll be able to make the other 5 substitutes at the business end.
Yeah, I mean, it's a friendly, and that was used as that. He'd done something.
Just minutes, get the boys minutes under the belt.
They've got
in these conditions.
They've got an hour's football tomorrow. Another friendly. He'll probably change things around. There's a number of players that came on 71 minutes. Have highlighted those. I think today's exercise, or last night's it was, I think it ticked all the boxes, Gemma.
It's put us in a great position. I think we're in the best position to be, finally trying to bring this home. I think the players all look up for it. The cohesion, the style is what we've been crying out for. Yeah. That aggressive front foot, punishing teams. Attacking football because we've got the players to do it, not being afraid of anyone. And I think that's the style we've all been crying for, and we're finally seeing it.
Yeah. Who starts centre half for you, Cole?
Oh, Stones and Gay, without a doubt. I put Concert out on the right, or bring in Spence and put him on the right.
Yeah, not dropping Reece James.
Well, I don't think James contributed very much, but obviously the manager likes him a lot, but he's got to contribute more to the attacking side of it.
Yeah, I think Reece was slightly more
Let's get this World Cup going on talkSPORT.
Mexico get the game underway. Works it wide to the right-hand side. Jimenez makes the run into the area, and the glancing header is in. And Raul Jimenez strikes in Mexico's World Cup, and Mexico have the points in the bag on the opening night of the World Cup. It's Mexico 2, South Africa 0.
Time now to hear some of your shared takes with Burger King.
Shared takes on talkSPORT with Burger King Burger Buddies. Total tournament satisfaction delivered by the experts. Order now on the BK app.
That's right. We are now going to go straight to the phone lines and we're going to speak to Kevin. Kevin's a Celtic fan. How are you, Kevin?
Hi, Kevin.
I'm good, Rory. Good, Dean. How are you?
Very good, very good. You must be pleased Martin O'Neill's got the job.
It's actually quite funny, Dean, because you won't remember, but the night that Rodgers resigned and O'Neill got the job, I actually phoned yourself and Jamie O'Hara at the time, and I said that he was the right man for the job at the time to steady the ship, etc. But the job he done when he came back the second time to get us over the line and win the double was incredible, to be fair, because I'm 46 and I would probably say it's the worst Celtic team I've seen in about 20, 25, well, probably the worst Celtic team in about 25 years. So, yeah, a remarkable job, and probably what we need to know. There's a lot of...
Shall I give you a little insight into Martin O'Neill, what he's done, apparently, right? He's walked onto the pitch, training pitch, goes up to the centre-back, and he says, listen, we've never met. I've watched a couple of videos of you. Do me a favour. Go up, head balls out the box, head free kicks and corners out of our box. Stop making mistakes, and you'll always play for me. See you tomorrow. Right, that's it.
Yeah.
So if you think about what he said there, it's a threat. It's really a threat. It's a nice way of threatening him. If you don't do it, you ain't playing.
Yeah. Yeah,
so
you
he's
know exactly
just
where you
clear.
stand.
Yeah, you know where you stand. He would have given little instructions. That's all he's done. He'll walk round to the players and say little things like that, and it makes them focus in. I know my job.
Yeah.
Now.
Yeah.
I know what he likes, and sometimes being simple with the players helps them no end.
Absolutely. Everyone knows exactly where they stand. What did you make of the game tonight, Kevin?
I thought it was all right, to be honest. I know you guys, the Azteca Stadium and stuff you were saying, Rory, about the history of it, absolutely made it a great spectacle. The actual game itself was a bit average, I felt. I thought South Africa were really, really poor. Mexico looked okay, but I think if they come up against a better side, they'll be in trouble. I don't think they've got a lot. I think staying in Mexico, I think Scott Minto said that at the end of the previous show, they'll be looking to stay there to try and use that as an advantage. But I thought it was pretty poor. But the thing, there's 2 points in the game that you guys were discussing. Just the first goal. I know what Dino was saying in terms of he just needs to ping it long, but see if you actually watch it back, he doesn't even need to. The fullback to his left is on. He just needs to roll it to the fullback. It's a crazy decision to roll it into the centre.
Yeah, but why do you think he's a goalkeeper? Seriously, they're hopeless goalkeepers. That's why they're in goals. If you had a five-a-side in training, they are last pick. So don't be surprised when he doesn't pick the right pass. The decisions he's made, terrible. I'm not shocked.
I'm not shocked, but what I'm saying is he doesn't need to go long. So if his manager's instruction is, I want us to play it for the back, which tends to be the case nowadays, he's got to just be like, well, the fullback's on, there's nobody putting him under any pressure. He rolls it in the middle of the pitch. But the other point I had is, I think the red cards are a wee bit concerning, because I said that to your producer there, is if that's the bar, I think we could see a few. I think 2 out of the 3 are pretty harsh. I think the first one's a Stonewaller. He's got to go. I think the second one, I don't think VAR needs to get involved, to be honest. It's a coming together. I know his hand's open, but... And then the third one, I don't think that's a red in England or in Scotland. I don't think that's a red card. I know he's not really busting into the box as he took it wide and then he's got to get it under control. I think if that's the bar, I think you might see a lot of red cards, because I think they were saying it's the first time there's been 3 in one match since 2006, and that was the Portugal-Netherlands game that holds the record for 4. And you're like, it's a bit concerning. I feel that that's the bar set.
On that subject, did you notice the new rules? Because it was an hour into the game before I'd forgot there's new laws.
Go on.
Well, I thought there was a new law come in saying that I was looking at the grappling in the box, so they're going to give the defenders a bit more leeway. And I thought they were going 10 seconds to take a throw in, 10 seconds to take a goal kick to speed.
Right.
And you have to get off. Do you have to get off the pitch, the subs, quickly?
Yeah, I think.
I never noticed it all. I don't know whether they've
No, I mean, in terms of Kevin's point there, though, I do think that the speeding up of the game is something that does need to happen. But I do think that it's interesting that 3 sendings off on the opening day is going to set the tone, isn't it? It is going to set the bar very high. So I think people's discipline is going to have to be like at the forefront.
Unless I've got this wrong, I asked Jack, the producer, who's looking at me now. He said it's a 1-game ban. For the red card, it's a 1-game ban. Because I asked him, how many games do you get for that now? A red card.
What was that? The final one? Was that the final red card?
No. If you get a red card, you get a 1-game ban. What is it? I don't know what they've changed the laws that many times.
Yeah, I think it will be dependent on the offence.
And don't you? Doesn't it get scuppered lit into the next stage? You know the next stage where instead of it carrying on, the yellow cards carry on.
I think there is a point where it's all wiped clean. There is definitely a point where it's all wiped clean. But
he's right though, Kevin, isn't he?
Kevin
that has set the bar.
Yeah, he is definitely correct. And if you've got a share take of your own, you can voice note us or simply give us a call on 03717 223344. That is all thanks to Burger King.
Shared takes on talkSPORT with Burger King Burger Buddies. Iconic winners delivered in the box every time. Order now on the BK app.
Right, we're going to go straight back to the phone lines. And remember, keep your calls coming in 03717 223344. We're going to speak to GJ. GJ's a Tottenham fan. Welcome.
Hi, GJ.
Hello, boys. How you doing?
Very good, thanks. Very good. What do you think of the game?
Yeah, I think it was, a decent start to the World Cup. Host nation winning is always good. At the legendary Aztec Stadium. I was actually going to say, I don't know if I missed the start of the show, but I was going to say that the greatest World Cup solo goal was scored in the goal on the left by Maradona, and the greatest team goal by Carlos Alberto was scored in the goal on the right.
Yeah.
But, historic stadium, that. I was going to say, I thought all red cards were justified. I don't know what the hoo-ha was all about, to be honest with you.
I felt like the middle one, GJ. You could have some debate about the middle one. Did VAR really need to get involved there?
Well, he didn't. He smacked him in the face, didn't he?
Did slap him. Yeah. Can't do
I mean,
that. If you raise your hands, that's it, isn't it?
Yeah,
I suppose.
That's what I was thinking. I mean, I've got to say, when I saw it in real time, I was thinking, oh my God, what is this World Cup all about? They're going overboard on the rules. But when you see it and they zoomed in on it, you're thinking, this guy's had, absolutely, he's had a heads gone moment, and he smacked him. The only thing I would say is, because there's 48 teams, you're going to have a lot of teams like South Africa, unfortunately, who are going to be just poor. And unfortunately, I mean, I've watched every World Cup since '86. Right, I'm 48, and I think for the last 7 World Cups, there were 32 teams in there. Which for me, I don't know about you guys, I thought 32 is a perfect number. But I think 48, I'll be missing quite a few. I mean, many of the games are overnight anyway, but I'll be missing quite a few of the games because I'm not going to get up for like Ecuador against Curacao.
No. The tournament will burst into life, won't it? Around the last 32, the last 16.
We are, Rory, aren't we? Right from this show, 1 o'clock in the morning, we're going straight into the build-up.
I've got 100% record. I've watched every minute of this World Cup so far.
3 o'clock in the morning.
I've got 100% record. Yeah, so I'm completely committed. But don't you think, GJ, it's gonna become incredibly watchable once we get to say the last 32?
Bang on, Rory. Bang on. Yeah, absolutely. That's when I'll really get switched on, and I'll really be cracking open the beers then, staying up late and booking half days off work, etc. But I think I haven't studied the draw. My mate at work, Andy, was telling me that if we win our group, we're destined to meet Mexico in the last 16. I think he said in the Aztec Stadium.
Yeah, that's where it could be. I think if. Like I said before, if my wall planner on my kitchen wall is correct, it will go last 16. Last 16 will be Mexico in the Azteca. Last 8, if we come through that one, will be Miami to face Brazil.
Yeah, I mean, do you know what? If we get past the heat of Mexico, where it's nearly 8,000 feet above sea level in over 30 degrees heat, if we get past that, then I know Brazil are bad by by their historical standards. But I don't know. I don't. Obviously, I want us to win the World Cup, but yeah, I might have to stick a few quid on Brazil for that.
That's the spirit, GJ. Brilliant.
Mate, Rory, I've done it many times where I've bet against Spurs. In fact, I'll tell you what, I've got a few quid on Portugal. The team I do not want to win the World Cup are Portugal, because I can't stand Ronaldo. I'm a Messi man. And if they win, I'll win a few quid. So at least I've kind of covered myself. But at least the World Cup's up and running.
I watched the friendly the other night, by the way. Portugal. Ronaldo played.
Yeah, it didn't
look like someone had varnished him.
It didn't look
he
great,
looked
did it?
stiff.
Yeah, it didn't look great.
We'll brought him off after about an hour.
Yeah, we'll have
missed
to
a couple of open goals.
We will see how that goes. Right, we're going to be joined by talkSPORT Scottish football correspondent Shabana Hearn up next, live from stateside. You are listening to World Cup Sports Bar on talkSPORT, brought to you by Enterprise Rent a Car. Whatever it is, they are here for it.
Kickoff was delayed even more by what was a monsoon over in the States, Gemma. But let's talk about England's performance. What do you make of it, first and foremost?
Look, they got the job done end of the day. They're going to come up against a lot tougher test.
Yeah.
I thought they were poor.
Yeah.
They couldn't even string a couple of passes together.
No.
And, they obviously England should have really scored more.
Yeah.
And Weke, that should have been a goal. That's a shocker.
I mean,
Rodgers, he should have scored that as well.
Yeah.
And we are a little bit wasteful. I thought we were a bit wasteful, actually, against New Zealand, in all honesty, because they had chances and didn't punish them, only 1-0. But I have to say, I was really impressed with the energy, the fluidity, the movement. That opening 25 minutes, I thought we were good. Costa Rica were bad. I'm not going to take but you still have to put in a performance. We played against bad teams in the past and not put in that kind of performance.
No, like I said, the first 10, 15 minutes, we were on the front foot. We were not giving them a sniff. We was bopping the ball around.
High energy, high tempo, good press.
In this heat as well, good press, winning the ball high. Being really cutthroat, but just sometimes not. That little end product at times we're just lacking.
Yeah,
and I think that will be a worry when we start getting into the latter stage of the tournament, when we come up to teams like Spain and France.
One chance might be all you get. Big chance in the game.
Exactly. And if we can't find that, and if we need 10 or 15 chances to put one away against the bigger teams who are sturdy, who are better at the back, better at keeping the ball, that could come costly.
Indeed. 03717223344. England 3, Costa Rica 0. They weren't great, but there were one or two impressive performances, certainly first half. I thought Anthony Gordon was excellent. He made the first goal. I thought Rice and Bellingham, they linked up well. Anderson, always offering himself. The high width, I think Noni had an impact on the game. Still has to do a little better for me. Still has to make, as you highlighted there, Gemma, making that final decision, that final pass.
Get ready to get the ultimate football fan winning feeling with talkSPORT Win.
Listen up, the FIFA World Cup has kicked off tonight and we are sending you and a mate straight to New York to see England live with Haaaaas, the tournament's official match ball supplier. We're talking about a trip To watch England face Panama, you're looking at return flights, a hotel, match tickets, and spending money all taken care of. Plus, Adidas is even throwing in the official try-on-the match ball and a fresh pair of boots. Ready to get that winning feeling? Here's how to enter. But hurry up, because entries close tomorrow. For your chance to win, head now, go right now to talksportwin.com or text WIN to 83338. Text and online entries cost £2.50 plus your standard network rate, or you can call up 0343 418 7260. That's 0343 418 7260. Entries must be in by 4 p.m. tomorrow. That's when you'll need to answer the phone if it rings. 18 plus, UK residents only. This is a TalkSport promotion. Full T's and C's at talksportwin.com. For your chance to win, text WIN to 83338 now. Now, it's time to get a Scotland camp update with Burger King.
Scotland Camp Update on talkSPORT. Brought to you by Burger King Burger Buddies. Total tournament satisfaction. Delivered by the experts. Order now on the BK app.
Hello, Shaban. Are you with us?
Hi, Rory.
Hello, Shaban.
Hi, Dean.
How
Two
are
of my
you?
favourites on the sports bar. I'm great, thank you. I'm good. We're in Charlotte Airport. We're about to head to Boston in the next 20 minutes. So, yeah, things are really good, thank you. How's things back there?
Very good. Are you going first class, Shaban? You in first class or economy?
To Boston, I'll give you one guess, Dean. With talkSPORT from Charlotte to Boston, 2-hour flight, what do you think?
Well, you have changed, because I remember you when you had nothing, and last time I seen you, you following me in a Porsche 911. Rory, she's changed.
Yeah, she's changed, all right. She has
She's
changed.
become famous.
What's the mood like over there, Shaban? You feeling, what sort of vibe are you picking up in the Scotland camp?
Yeah, it's so good, Rory. Honestly, it's such a nice atmosphere. I'd say it's a small group of media, Scottish media, and we've all known each other for years. It's the same group who were then, of course, at the Euros a couple of years ago in Germany. That same media group, same faces, who you'd watch on the TV or you'd see writing about Scotland. You two maybe wouldn't be looking at that, but I can understand that. And everybody's just having such a good time. Steve Clark is full of beans. He seems happy and positive. He did a brilliant interview the other day, speaking about perhaps maybe at the Euros he did things incorrectly. He would have done things differently had he had the opportunity to go back and do it again. So it feels that there's a really light-hearted spirit around about Steve Clark. And we had the press conference today with Kenny McLean, and they also seemed driven. You know, they were buzzing what happened at Hampden that night against Denmark in November in qualifying, but they want more now. They want to see Saturday as the opportunity to win a game, which would be our first win at a World Cup since 1990. So there's pressure on for them to do that, but I think the spirits are high.
Shaban, have you seen Scott McTominay about? There were reports today that he missed training ahead of that crucial game against Haiti.
Yeah, we brought you that earlier on this morning, Rory. He was there. He was in the camp today. He was present. He just woke up with a tummy bug. Now, we all know when it hits 33 degrees all of a sudden, sometimes, your tummy can go, can't it? I've been there myself, probably too much information. But he's absolutely fine. I mean, we spoke to a number of the staff. They said he's in good spirits. He's fine. You know, what's the point in being out in the baking heat when you've got a bit of a tummy bug? So I reckon a couple of Imodium and Scott McTominay will be banging in goals for fun this Saturday.
Shaban, the weather, I remember going to Disney World, you know, in Orlando, and walking out the hotel, and it's just like a hairdryer hitting you in the face. To play football in it, is that weather, is that what they're going to expect against Haiti? Because they must be used to it, Haiti.
Yeah. Yeah, they would be used to it, Dean. The thing is, they're saying that Boston's to be that bit hotter. However, Boston is expected a lot more rain. I did enjoy watching the players run around today. At 10 o'clock this morning, guys, it was 32 degrees, and Steve Clark had a full tracksuit on. I can't work it out. I can't work out if he's mentally telling everybody that he doesn't feel the heat or the heat doesn't bother him. But it is baking so much in his belly. So that I think the Botox is running down my nose and coming out my ears. It's such a waste of money, this Botox in this heat. That's why I'm in a hat now. You need to cover up my forehead.
Shaban, we saw Scotland get a very impressive win the other day, I think, against Bolivia in the friendly. This game against Haiti, it couldn't be bigger, could it? Because the group is intimidating. You know, being in the same group as both Morocco and Brazil means that this Haiti game is a must-win. Do you get that vibe? Do you feel like Steve Clarke will be going for the jugular and trying to win this game? And if they do approach it in that way, what players really need to step up?
I think it's a must-win. And what we've seen from the last couple of games is goals being scored, Rory. We've been criticised for that in the past, but goals are being scored. 4 in each of the last couple of games against Curacao and against Bolivia. For me, our big players have to step up. You're relying on the likes of John McGinn and Scott McTominay and Andy Robertson to show their experience. For me, down the right-hand side is really exciting to watch Aaron Hickey and Ben Gannon-Doak. Gannon-Doak looks absolutely exceptional. So it'll be players like that doing their job, but also up front. I mean, Lawrence Shankland has been on great form this season, and he was really linking up well with Che Adams in the game against Bolivia. So I would like to see more of that as well. I think we can definitely do a job against Haiti. We cannot get on the world stage and hold back. We really, really have to go for it. I like the idea that we've let the handbrake off in these last couple of games. I want to see that now against Haiti. Fans want to see that against Haiti. We've been excited from what we've seen over these last couple of games. So let's go for that. Let's get 3 points. Let's at least score a few goals, because if we do that, we get the opportunity then to come out of the group. And that would be then looking at losses against Morocco or Brazil. I don't think that's going to happen. It's the hope that kills you. Maybe I'm deluded, but I think we could get 4 points and come out of this group.
Amazing. Shaban, thank you so much for finding the time to talk to us.
Thanks, Shaban.
That was a Scotland camp update, all thanks to Burger King.
Scotland Camp Update on talkSPORT. Brought to you by Burger King Burger Buddies. Iconic winners delivered in the box every time. Order now on the BK app.
Fantastic stuff there from Shaban. We're going to go straight to the phone lines now. We're going to speak to Jamie. Jamie's an Arsenal fan. How are you, sir?
Hi, Jamie.
Hey, you all right?
Very good, thanks. Very good. A bit gutted Wales on in the World Cup, but...
Yeah, man, World Cup season's back. We England fans always hope to bring it home, but it never comes home. I thought that we're going to reach quarter-finals this season, hopefully. Anyway, let's not talk about England. Let's talk about tonight's game. It was interesting, to say the least. Interesting. 3 red cards. 1 questionable red card, though. 1 questionable red card. I think we know what red card we're talking about. Are we giving cards for, like, slaps now?
Yeah. Anything that can be perceived as being...
I know. It's a bit harsh in my opinion.
I think... Isn't it a law? If your hand goes anywhere near someone's throat or face, depending on the way you've pushed your hand into
violent conduct,
you're off, straight off.
Mm. What, do you think it was a harsh one there, Jamie? You don't think that should have been a sending off?
To me, it was a harsh, but like it is the law of the game, and I understood it straight away when I saw the replay, and I thought, oh, okay, fair enough. But it is harsh to me.
Yeah.
And I don't know if anyone saw it, but it was quick. Like we said, what did they say? They said red cards for what was it? Oh, covering your mouth with your hand or something.
Yeah.
Like when that first red card came out, I don't know if anyone saw it, but I saw a hand covering a mouth, and I thought, so where's the red card for that?
But imagine trying to police that. You'd be running around the pitch when you're going, I've seen you. Yeah. Putting your hand over your mouth. Yeah. Get your hand off your mouth. You can't, like, how do you, unless it's obvious.
Yeah. Overall, though, Jamie, great to have the World Cup. You got World Cup fever?
I have a fever. That's the main thing.
Well, there we have it. Great to talk to you.
I don't think those two we watched tonight are going to win the World Cup.
No, I think you are completely correct. Next, we will be joined by talkSPORT's chief football correspondent Alex Crook, live from a Mexican bar in Dallas. What did we learn from last night? The reason I asked that is I was watching, and I've said England from a long, long time ago. Maybe towards the end of qualifying, I thought England have got enough to win it, right?
Yes.
If Kane, Bellingham, the spine, and Declan Rice stays fit. I looked at the wingers, not necessarily the left, because I think Rashford or Gordon are good enough. Either one of them I'll be happy with. But Noni Madueke's there to fill in for Saka. Saka isn't going to be fit, or isn't going to be fit enough. Just, you take it around the goalkeeper and you've got an open goal and it's crying out for you to hit it with your right and you hit it with your left. Yeah. I worry that a mistake like that in a nothing game, it doesn't matter to me, I don't care. Yes. But what it did show me is why hasn't he got enough composure to slot that home? That's a worry.
I would use my weaker foot there. If that's the opposite side for me. I was always confident on my weaker foot just to use it. But Rodgers misses the chance as well where you go through 1v1 and he hits it to the side of the keeper. We've got to be clinical, because those sort of chances might be the only chances you get.
Exactly.
In a knockout game against the big boys if you're playing Portugal or Brazil. But I still look at it and say, who's the two centre-halves that he's going to start? Because Gahey didn't start last night.
No.
I look at Reece James, guaranteed. I look at O'Reilly, guaranteed. I look at the midfield three now.
Sorts itself out.
You'd think Bellingham will start with Anderson and Rice. Gordon and Rashford is still hard to call. Who starts on the left-hand side? Will Saka be fit for the first game? We don't know. But I don't know, because he likes Stones, mate. And Stones looked good last night because you're playing against nothing.
But he's played like 9 minutes.
I want to see Stones. I would have loved the game building up to the World Cup where Stones playing against a proper set forward or a proper winger who's running behind him. Because when I watched him last season, he has struggled. He's looked a lot slower. He's never been rapid, but he looks like he's lost a yard as well. So that'll be interesting. So we're still on our toes of like the actual starting 11 against Croatia.
What it did underline as well for me last night is, without a shadow of a doubt, that the England number 2 for the number 9 position is Ollie Watkins, without a shadow of a doubt.
100%, yeah.
I thought, even though it was New Zealand, nothing game, I thought Ivan Toney looked off it. He looked slow.
Rightly so, though.
Yeah, you're playing in a league like that.
It in the Saudi league, of course, but
there's no way you can be up to speed.
You would get double figures in the Saudi league. I've seen your goal in the soccer aid.
Oh, the goal of the century.
I've seen that, mate.
It's unbelievable.
I think you'd score in the Saudi league.
In 1994, FIFA looked at the United States and said, yes, this is the perfect place for a World Cup. To the average US sports fan, a 0-0 draw sounded less like a sporting event and more like a coding error. The greatest show on earth coming to town would soon change that. Because it was America, they didn't just host the World Cup, they supersized it. The opening ceremony was like a Super Bowl halftime show and saw Diana Ross miss a penalty from 6 yards out, wide of a goal designed to collapse as the ball hit the net. Despite the miss, the goal collapsed anyway. Classic Hollywood. When the matches started, something weird happened. Americans actually showed up. Sure, half the crowd were probably wondering when the quarterbacks were coming on, but the energy was infectious. The cultural mashup was glorious. International fans arrived expecting traditional football fare and found stadiums pumping out star-spangled scoff snacks. For the US, nothing said the beautiful game quite like a processed platter. And the heat. Games were played in blistering midday sun to please European TV audiences. Players were practically melting on the pitch, while fans in the stands were getting sunburns shaped like replica jerseys. Can you imagine the tan lines if England were there? Nightmare. On the pitch, we got pure theatre. Babetto's baby rocking celebration, Maradona's last international hurrah, and ultimately a final that ended in the most American way possible, a dramatic shootout, with Baggio launching his penalty straight into the California stratosphere. To this day, 1994 remains the most attended World Cup in history. The total for the 52 games, 3.5 million. That's an average of 68,000 per game. America didn't just survive the invasion of a foreign sport, it birthed Major League Soccer because of it. Beckham, Messi, they don't go if it wasn't for USA 94. Turns out all it took to hook the States on the world's game was a little bit of 90s magic and a whole lot of nacho cheese.
Good evening and welcome to the Sports Bar with myself, Rory Jennings, alongside Dean Saunders. A reminder that we have a brand new Sports Bar podcast which is available now, featuring all the very best bits from the show. Still to come tonight, we're going to be joined by Mexican football expert John Bonfiglio. We'll also be joined by Asian football expert Steve Han as we look ahead to South Korea versus the Czech Republic, which is live on talkSPORT in a few hours' time. But first, we are joined by talkSPORT chief football correspondent Alex Crook, live from Dallas. Alex, oh yes, Alex, what a hat! You got the cowboy hat on, a Stetson. You look amazing.
You look a cross between Horse Cartwright and J.R. Ewing, for those who can remember it.
Absolutely brilliant. And where does that say tavern behind you? Are you in a bar in Dallas?
Well, howdy, boys. I should probably greet you with, but yeah, I am. We've just been in the Harwood Tavern watching the first game of the World Cup. Always a special occasion. Mexico against South Africa. Lots of screaming Mexican fans enjoyed their team's performance. They were up on their feet every time their heroes in green went through on goal, which actually was quite a lot. I thought South Africa really poor. I think we're going to see a few teams at this World Cup of a similar standard, but you can only beat what's in front of you. And what a moment for Raul Jimenez at the age of 35, scoring his first ever World Cup goal after all the battles that he's had to go through during his career. You could see what it meant to him with that emotional celebration. And then it all went crazy, didn't it? 3 red cards. I think I'm right in saying there are only 4 in the whole of the last World Cup, and we had 3 in the first game.
Yeah, Alex, I was just wondering, in that bar, is there any Mexican fans who watch them all the time that have come over to you and said that was a good performance or it was a bad performance?
No, I think they're pretty pleased with the performance, to be honest. I've got to say, there was quite a lot of excitement and expectation about the Mexicans going into this game. Mainly, I think, because they realised that South Africa were no great shakes. But I think a World Cup is always better when you've got a winning start from the hosts, and when the hosts have the capability to go deep into the draw. And certainly you'd expect Mexico now to go on and get into the knockout stages. Obviously the stadium was packed to the rafters. I've seen a lot of green Mexico shirts on our travels here in Dallas today, and it just feels like the World Cup has really begun. It'll be a similar feeling tomorrow when the USA take on Paraguay.
Alex, when Raul Jimenez scored, the celebration from him will live long in the memory. That's going to go down in history as one of the greatest, most passionate celebrations of a World Cup. What was it like in there? Did the place just lift off the second the ball hit the back of the net?
Yeah, they absolutely erupted, and he got a standing ovation. They were quite emotional as he was after he scored that goal. So I think you're right. I think that will go down as one of those iconic World Cup moments. I'll tell you what, boys, I'm a bit worried about this hat. The wind, which is absolutely whipped up here in Dallas, and it's only light. If you suddenly see it fly off the top of my head, this wasn't cheap, by the way, and the talkSPORT budget doesn't go a long way. So if I have to sort of jump after it, then
there's a viral clip that we're hoping for, Alex. That will certainly go viral on Twitter. Alex, what's the feeling just generally in Texas? What kind of vibe are you picking up? Is there World Cup fever? Do you feel like it's really cut through, or do you think that it isn't quite there yet?
Do you know what? I'd call it World Cup intrigue as opposed to World Cup fever. This bar that we were in, we touched down yesterday afternoon, and obviously we're trying to beat the jet lag. So I said to producer Ryan, what we've got to do, we've got to go out and we've got to stay out as long as we possibly can. So we stayed up until about 11:30 midnight. We're in this bar, chatting to the locals. They were buying us drinks and getting our opinions on the World Cup and on the England team in particular. Some of them were in Mexican shirts. We've seen a few USA shirts as well. But I think they're genuinely intrigued about how seriously in England we take our football. And I think they're intrigued to see how this USA team perform, because I've got to say, speaking to the American fans, they're not head over heels in love with Mauricio Pochettino yet.
Alex, what you eating and drinking then? Are you on the tequilas, or are you on the Mexican beer, or what are you eating? What are you eating and combining it with?
I'm trying to only eat one meal a day, Dino, which is actually not as hard as it sounds over here, because obviously you know about the portion sizes. So I think it was nachos last night. I've just had a BLT and some chips for lunch today. So that'll be me now food-wise until tomorrow morning. And obviously, I'm a good tourist. I like to check out the local hospitality. So yeah, there's quite an extensive beer menu in this bar behind me. And when we're going through the list, just working out what we like and what we don't, as all good tourists should.
Yeah, absolutely. Give it the due diligence that it deserves, Alex. I applaud you there for taking one for the team and going through the menu to find out what is good and what isn't.
I tell you what, the funniest moment of the trip so far, we went into a supermarket just round the corner from our apartment, and Ryan here, the producer, who's usually produces the sports bar actually, you'll know he's a little bit frugal with his money. He got charged 11 quid for a carton of orange juice. He nearly fainted. 11 quid.
That's superb. Alex, in terms of what's been happening around this World Cup, there's been lots of conversation around the prices. There's been protests. I mean, a peace prize was given out at one point. The football is now started. Do you think it's time to just kind of forget any conversation around whatever reservations people have had around this tournament and just focus on the football? Because the spectacle of the football should be phenomenal, shouldn't it?
I hope so, and I don't think Gianni Infantino did us any favours in that regard with his press conference yesterday, when he was quite flippant really when he was asked about the Somalian referee not being allowed into the country and about the fact that a lot of fans are being priced out. And I think he said just chill, didn't he? Well, it's easy for Infantino to say. I've deliberately avoided in my conversations with the locals even getting onto the subject of Donald Trump, because I realise it can be quite a divisive topic, and I want to talk football. Like you say, I want the football to do the talking. We've watched the first game. We're going to be back here later to watch the Czech Republic against South Korea. We've got Canada against Bosnia tomorrow. We're looking forward to watching the USA. We're off to Houston at the weekend to see Germany. I want this to be about football now. I think there's been too much political chat in the build-up, and that's not me belittling, by the way, some very serious topics. But I think the football fans who've paid their hard-earned money to get here, they follow their national teams far and wide. The players, some of whom we know a lot about, some of whom probably about to just be introduced onto the world stage. I think they deserve now for football to be the main topic of conversation. Well,
I hope you're looking after him,
Alex. That is another topic. I'm showing him the ways. I showed him the ways in Germany. I took him under my wing there, and he's back for another toast of the crookie experience, and he's enjoying it so far. We've actually got matching cowboy hats, by the way. He bought exactly the same hat as I did.
Oh, I love that. I love that you're a fashion. You're setting the fashion, Alex. Ryan's copying you. I love it.
All you need is a horse and a big saddle.
Alex, in terms of the football, obviously we saw that first game get underway in the Azteca. The stadium was just incredible, wasn't it? It looked like it was going to be unreal. What are you expecting from what Texas has to offer? Because obviously that's where England are going to be playing.
Yeah, so the Dallas Stadium is around about 40 minutes from where we are in downtown Dallas. We haven't actually been to check it out yet. We will be there for the England game against Croatia next week. Looking forward to it. It's an air-conditioned stadium, and that's going to help, I think, the England players, because the heat here, as soon as we stepped off the plane yesterday, it just smacked you in the face, 40 degrees, and it's not ever got any cooler. I'm quite grateful for that breeze that I told you about. But speaking to the locals, and this is where the Dallas Cowboys, of course, usually play their American football, this stadium is something else. It's been compared to me, actually, by people who've been to both, to the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, which, an unpopular opinion probably with you, Rory, but I think that's the best stadium now in England. So I've got great expectations of this stadium where England are going to kick off their World Cup campaign. It's just a shame. It feels like we've got to wait an eternity to see England in World Cup action, doesn't it? They're playing so late into the tournament.
Alex, one of the funniest things I was involved in, Thomas Tuchel, I hope he's told the players to get the cream on, the factor 50. Because we went away with Wales years ago. Alan Nill, Chris Wilder's assistant, he's ginger, isn't he? Fair-skinned. And one of the coaching staff said, "Get the cream on, lads, make sure you got the cream on." And Alan Nill said the famous words, "I don't burn." He said, "I don't burn." Oof. He never put any cream on. He looked like the singing detective by the end of the day, yeah. Yeah, I think he had to lay down for 48 hours. He's covered in blisters. So they got to get the cream on. I seen Declan Rice's face yesterday was red. You've got to be really careful.
It was. I think he came out, didn't he, and said, I got told off by my mum for getting sunburned. I've got to say, Mrs. Crook back home, she looked after me. I did my own packing which not all of our talkSPORT party do, by the way. Gabriel Bonahor admitted publicly that he gets his missus to do his packing for him.
That, Rory.
But she did make sure I had the factor 50 and I had the factor 30, so I plastered on the 30 on my legs and arms this morning, 50 on the face, and touch wood. I think I'm tanning
good.
quite nicely.
You'll need more than
without
one
going
bottle.
red.
So far, so good. Alex, fantastic to talk to you. Thank you so much for finding the time. Get back in that bar.
Cheers, Alex.
I'll do my best.
Cheers.
Cheers,
See you soon. Up next, keep your calls coming in. Mexico winning the opening game of the 2026 World Cup. 03717223344. You are listening to the World Cup Sports Bar on talkSPORT, brought to you by Burger King Burger Buddies. Iconic winners delivered in the box every time. Order now on the BK app.
We saw Anthony Gordon, quite old school, chalk on his boots, taking the full back on the outside, which was good to see.
It was refreshing, wasn't it? Absolutely refreshing. And I think the way Tuchel is, I think he'll play with two out-and-out wide players, and he looks for pace in a wide area. So, yeah, people say it's a little bit old-fashioned. We don't see them anymore. Let's be fair. Anthony Gordon is a top player. That's why Barcelona have paid all this money for him, quite a remarkable move for him. So, yeah, I'm delighted that he's done well, because he's one of these players who gets you off the edge of your seat, doesn't he? When he's direct, he's quick, and he's a top player. So it was good to see him playing well.
Steve, as a manager, what do you make of the way he's handled Bellingham? Because it looks like it might have worked. He played really well last night.
Yeah.
There has been this, is he in, is he out, is he the right bloke, is he as a team man? The doubts have been raised, haven't they?
Jonathan Northcroft, the author, he's written a new book about, and Tuchel features in it, and he said Tuchel couldn't create jeopardy, Steve, because through the fixtures, because they were just too easy to win in qualifying. So he's kind of created a jeopardy by keeping all the players on their toes, by not saying, you're a nailed-on starter. And Bellingham kind of seems to have benefited from that. We've seen Ollie Watkins benefit from that. He admitted that it gave him a kick up the backside being left out of a squad. Yeah. So I think you can see, Bellingham knows he's fighting for his shirt, really, with Morgan Rogers, and he played very well last night.
Well, look, I mean, he's an outstanding football player as well, isn't he, Bellingham? And this debate of whether he's going to be the number 10 is the one. Is it going to be him or the kid from Villa? Look, he's an outstanding player, Bellingham. I'll be very, very surprised if he's not going to start him, because I think we look at it, it's pretty straightforward. It's between him or Rodgers, and Bellingham's a top player. I mean, we're blessed in that. I mean, the 2-3 lads who didn't go to the World Cup are all
You are listening to me, Rory Jennings, and beside me tonight is the legendary Dean Saunders. We are going to go straight back to the phone lines. I think it is time now to speak to Pablo. Pablo is a West Ham fan. Hi, Pablo.
Oh, I love the celebrations. How are you, boys?
Yeah, good. How are you? Very good.
When the first goal went in, the tannoy at the station on the stadium, the South Americans always go potty, don't they?
Yeah.
It's brilliant. And I think the country's going to do. Boo! Shut up. The dog started.
What was that?
The dog. Because I started going.
Sounded like a dachshund.
No, she's a Pouchon called Boo. She's mad.
She's a what?
A Pouchon.
Oh yeah. What's her name?
Yeah, Dr. Boo Constable.
Dr. Boo Constable. Okay, nice. How's she doing?
Yeah, so she's good. She's good. So yeah, I think the whole country's going to be a lot happier now. Like the World Cup started, and like there's been tension, isn't there? And it's joyous, isn't it? And we wait 4 years for it, and it should be about the football now and nothing else.
Do you know what,
Really?
Pablo? I was going to say to Rory before he brought you on, we should ask everybody who comes on, an outsider, who they think's going to do well. Now, I think Norway are going to do well. What do you think?
Yeah, Norway, maybe. I haven't really thought about it. I haven't seen anyone play, but other than tonight, let me think. I don't.
Why don't you just say I haven't got a clue?
Who are you thinking of here, Pablo? You know, it's important that you give it the due diligence that it deserves. It's important that you really do take the time and think about this. What are you leaning towards?
What, with England or?
No, your outsider.
My outsider, maybe Germany.
I don't know if you can say Germany is an outsider.
No, they're one of the favourites.
Germany can't be an outsider, can they?
Well, they're not fancied, are they, very much?
Well, they are. Belgium is another one. You can't pick Belgium either. Because they're like...
Germany have won 4 World Cups. Surely anyone that's got 4 can't be considered... That'd be like me going, I feel like Brazil, a bit of an outside shout.
Well, they're behind England, aren't they, in the odds?
Yeah, but realistically, if we're talking outsiders, Germany is an outsider.
I'd like Scotland to win it as an outsider, but...
That would be good, I think. I'd be...
Yeah.
You know, I'm Welsh, right? But I want England to do well, and I want Scotland to do well, because the World Cup lasts longer, doesn't it? The interest keeps going right to the end then. If they both get knocked out early, spoils the World Cup for me. And I'd rather England win than Italy, or like, I know Italy are not in it, like France, Belgium. I'd rather an English 11 beat anybody else.
Yeah.
And I'd rather Scotland beat anybody else.
Yeah. So, Pablo, what are we saying?
Saying about Mexico, if we meet them in that stadium, can you imagine the atmosphere for them?
We're on course to meet them.
That'd be amazing, wouldn't it? In that stadium.
Do you think we beat them?
Yeah, we could beat them. We could beat them. No
Didn't
problem.
see anything in the Mexico side tonight to worry?
No, not overly. We could handle them. It'd be a tough game. All games are tough, but see how we get on against Croatia first before we start.
Lovely.
Again.
It's a great call, Pablo. It's a great call. Thank you very much
is a
for your
good player,
time.
Rory, isn't he? Jimenez, but he's past his best, isn't he?
Yeah.
You know, he's just signed. Is he just signed for Wolves, isn't he, in the Championship?
Well, yeah.
Yeah, so he's not like at the peak of his career. He's a good striker, though, and he gets on the end of crosses. And he, like you said earlier, he fractured his skull, and he's lucky to be playing again. But it took him about 2 years, didn't it?
Yeah. What do you make about what's happened with Wolves? Have you seen the news?
Yeah. Well, similar to what I was in a similar situation.
Really?
Well, yeah, you pick somebody else's mess up. I was the 4th manager in 12 months. Obviously, when the club starts sliding, the ship is sinking.
Yeah.
It's hard to stop it, no matter who you are.
Yeah.
Sunderland have had it as well. As bigger club like Ipswich ended up in League One, didn't they, for a bit?
Yeah.
When that ship starts sinking, it's hard to stop.
I can't believe Rob Edwards. I felt like he'd done very, very well there. I was so surprised.
Well, surely they brought him in to get him back up.
Yeah.
That was the plan, I thought. They brought him in not to... It was like...
And he did quite well in the Premier League in the games that he had left. Like, they were already effectively down when he took over.
Yeah.
And he got some big results.
Yeah, and really, football hasn't got unfair dismissal, has it? Because he's not spent a load of money and changed everything. It was the same players that were there that were losing.
Yeah.
So if there was a case for unfair dismissal,
this would be it.
This would be it, because he's obviously his job description when he took the job was probably this. I don't know. Do your best. It looks like we're going down, but work it out who you want to keep and who you want to get rid of, and get us back up next season. If you don't get us back up next season, then we'll have to reconsider your job. Yeah. But that's the job description.
Very, very weird. Very surprising news. Any Wolves fans want to have your say, give us a ring. 03717 22 3344. We'll go back to the phone lines now. We'll talk to Tim. Tim, you're a Man United fan.
Hi, Tim.
Yeah, that's right. Hi, how are you?
Very good, very good. Good. Where are you from?
I'm calling from Canada.
Oh.
Oh.
What's the weather like there?
You've got the Canadian flag behind you, Dean.
Oh, yeah.
I was hoping Dean would be okay with me calling, because I know we've had our bust up with Wales in that friendly. Craig Bellamy and wasn't too fond of the Canadians after the game, but.
Oh, right, yeah, you had to go to Jesse Marsh, didn't
yeah.
he? Did he? I
Yeah,
celebrated before the final whistle went. No, I mean, my first goal I ever scored for Wales was in Canada. We played Canada in Toronto, and then we played them in Vancouver. 2 games back to back in a week. And we won the second game, drew the first game. But I come away from Canada thinking Toronto is the cleanest place I've ever seen in my life. There's not a bit of litter anywhere. Magnificent.
It's a great host city for a World Cup for sure. The weather here is it's not as hot as it gets in the United States generally at this time of year. So like down south, it's probably about 21, 22 degrees tomorrow at kickoff. So it's overcast, so it should be a good environment for a game as well. And I think we're all hoping that Canada can get off the mark with take something from the Bosnia game. I think they have to take at least a point from that game to try to get out of the group for sure, and then beat Qatar in the next game. It's going to be important for them to get off the mark tomorrow, though, for sure.
Do you feel like you can do it, Tim?
Yeah, I think we're still a young country in these major tournaments. Obviously, we hadn't been in a World Cup since 1986 before Qatar. We scored our first goal at the Qatar World Cup, but we haven't picked up a point yet at a World Cup. So I think the players will be nervous. We've got a few injury concerns. Obviously, Alphonso Davies won't be fit. A couple other injury concerns, but I think the biggest challenge for us is we really struggle in front of goal. Kyle Larin, he's coming off a great season at Southampton, so he'll be partnering Jonathan David as likely the front two. So we've got the punch. It just seems that we played a friendly against Ireland on Friday. Dominated the game, controlled the tempo, but we just struggle being decisive in front of goal and finishing our chances when they come. So I think that'll be the biggest thing to look out for.
It's not a bad group for you. Looking at the group, Bosnia, Qatar, Switzerland. The Swiss are good. Obviously, you've got to do your best to get a decent start against Bosnia. And Qatar, this is Qatar's first World Cup that they've qualified for.
For sure. It's going to come. Switzerland will be our toughest game. It's going to come down to the Qatar game for us to get out of the group. If we can take a point against Bosnia, I'd be happy with that. Obviously, I'd be delighted to take all 3. But it's really that Qatar game that I think you'd point to with the new format, with 3 coming out, that if we can get a victory in that game with a comfortable goal difference, that would parachute us through. If we can't beat Qatar at home in the World Cup, we've got bigger problems. So
there's an outsider, Switzerland. Got the same team. Experienced players.
Yeah, they get good results as well, don't they?
Yeah. Tim, I was going to ask you, football, as soccer as you call it, is it more popular in Canada or the USA?
I'd say both, to be honest. It really, Dean, since the advent, I guess, of MLS, and we're a nation of immigrants, so we got Alphonso Davies, Haitian descent, Stefan Eustachio, our captain, Portuguese descent. Really, I think the game has grown so much over the last 10 years. We were really behind the U.S. and Mexico, probably 10, 15 years ago. I remember just getting absolutely battered. And probably when you played them, you probably can reflect when you played Canada, the difference between, say, playing Canada and the U.S. and Mexico at that time. But in the last qualifying campaign for the World Cup in 2022, we actually won the group against Mexico and the U.S. We actually beat them here. We went undefeated against them in qualification, went to the Azteca and got a draw at the Azteca against Mexico in qualification. So we've really caught up. Canada's really caught up a lot of the other countries in CONCACAF. And so I think people are really looking towards this as our coming out party.
Amazing.
Hopefully.
Amazing. It's a great call there, Tim. Thank you so much for finding the time.
Yeah, thanks, Tim.
Really impressive call. Remember, keep your calls coming in. 03717 223344. Up next, we want to hear more from you. The World Cup is officially underway. Mexico have beaten South Africa 2-0 in the first game. 03717 223344. You are listening to the World Cup Sports Bar on talkSPORT, brought to you by Enterprise Rent a Car. Here for it. Book now at enterprise.co.uk.
He left a good job at Borough because he loves Wolves, played there, wanted to try and keep them up, even though it was looking pretty difficult. So it's quite a shoddy way to get rid of a manager, from to hear a few rumours, go online, then have to ring the club to find out if it's true or not.
Yeah, totally. It's ridiculous, really, and definitely out of the blue. And I think if you speak to anyone, that's either been at the club or been watching, you can see what he's done since he's come to that club. I spoke about it when he first went there. His man management skills, the togetherness that he's got with that group of players, and what I find incredible is that they've had this plan. They knew really for a long time that the situation they were in and they were going to get relegated, and he's built this team. He's then played a really good style. They played some really good games. Yes, results probably weren't as they should be, but then towards the end, he's then whittled it down and he's looked at players that he's probably thought, yeah, these will do for me next year, these won't. They've had all of this time to plan because they knew the situation. And then the players that they've already signed, and like Andre, who's re-signed, signed a new deal, he talks about Rob Edwards as being a integral part of that. And then they release the interview with Kieran Trippier yesterday about how instrumental Rob was when he had other clubs that were interested. So then you have this bombshell that happens the next day when Rob's been sacked. It's absolutely incredible.
Have they explained themselves, Fossen? Have they said why they've decided to do this? Is it the same sort of statement you normally get, or have they explained why?
Thanking him and all that.
Well, no, I haven't seen one, to be honest. And the thing that I suppose I'm looking at and thinking, well, if you've sacked Rob, you've obviously planned who's coming in, and that will be announced, because otherwise you've had so much time to. Rob would have been in contact with everyone, talking about who he wants to come in, how they're going to restructure, who he wants to stay, who wants to go. And they've had so much time to do it. So they were ahead of everyone else, really, on the curve. And that's why you've seen the signings of, Trippier and him.
You are listening to the World Cup edition of the Sports Bar, and we're going to go straight back to the callers. We have got Colin in the shed. Colin, sir, you're live on talkSPORT. Hi, Colin.
Hello, Rory. Hello, Dino. You okay?
Yeah, good. How are you?
I'm very well, actually. I was cheering for Mexico today. I thought I'd have a little bet on an outsider, because obviously it's you get a little bit of interest during the World Cup, and so I got 66-1 for Mexico to win the World Cup, or I got each way, obviously, the final. And I think to yourself, I thought, why would you pick them? Well, you got to play them in Mexico, which we all know that the heat and the I think it's 6,000 feet above sea level, which makes it obviously very difficult. And I thought to myself, well, that's good value, that 66. Anybody can go 72 for France and Spain and those sort of things, 7-1 for England, but 66-1. We've got a chance, and if we beat, if Mexico get all the way through, which I think they will, there's a good chance we'll play them in the last 16. Who knows? Can England beat them? Yeah, I hope they do. I mean, I'm an England supporter, and I hope they do. But here's another little thing. If the Scots do well in their division, we could play Scotland in the last 8.
Yeah, we could end up getting Scotland. I mean, that would involve Scotland somehow making it to the last 8, though.
I think they'll do all right, Scotland, this year. I think they'll qualify in their group. They're a very tough group. But I think Scotland, they've got something behind them, and good luck to them. And I hope they do well. But I like to, as an England fan, my tenner, I'm happy to lose a tenner if England go on and play Scotland in the last 8.
Well, I'm not sure about this, but Rory will be because he studies all this. If Scotland win their first game, are they more or less through?
Yeah, I think, look, 8 teams will go through as the best third place finishers.
Right.
So you have a really strong chance. If you've won a game, you have a really strong chance of making it through as one of the best 8 losers, effectively.
Yeah, so they've got a great chance of beating Haiti, haven't they?
Yeah, and if they nick a draw, if they say they end up finishing 3rd in the group, if they end up finishing 3rd in the group with 4 points, that will be enough to make it, almost definitely.
Yeah, so they haven't got to beat Brazil, really. You don't want to be going into that game thinking we need 3 points.
The pressure for Scotland actually is on the Haiti game.
Yeah.
Because if it goes wrong against Haiti, like even a draw, if it just the occasion gets to them or whatever, Haiti put it out of the bag.
Yeah.
It's almost a disaster then, because Haiti then have the chance of finishing 3rd.
Yeah, and like Shaban said there, Steve Clarke's taken the handbrake off the team.
Yeah, but they won 4-0 the other day.
Yeah, but they're going to miss Billy Gilbert, aren't they? If the handbrake's off, he's the ball player.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
it's
he
a
got
big
injured,
blow.
didn't he? He got injured in they played
that friendly.
Yeah, I think they played Curacao. And
What's it called? Say that again.
Curacao, is it?
Curacao, yeah.
Yeah. They got injured.
How are they in the World Cup? Curacao.
Well, I mean, it's the kind of World Cup where almost everybody qualified.
They just made a team up, haven't they?
48
made up team.
48 nations is a lot of nations. We're going to play almost as many games as the whole World Cup of the previous tournaments. All of the fixtures in a previous tournament just to get to the last 16 in this tournament.
And do you know the kickoffs are in the middle of the night?
Yeah.
You're going to have to go on nights.
Yeah.
If you want to watch some World Cup, change your shifts.
It's not so bad for me, that Dean. I've got a lunatic baby. I've got a lunatic. Yeah, I've got like an actual lunatic.
What? Don't sleep.
She's wild. Yeah.
Don't sleep.
She doesn't sleep. She doesn't sleep. She's awake all night.
Oh, there's nothing worse. If you can sleep, you can cope with anything.
Yeah, this is the problem. This is why I can't really cope with my life at the moment, because my baby has just decided that she's nocturnal. Like, she will sleep through the day. If you put her in a pram, she'll sleep. If you take her to the supermarket, she'll sleep. The second that the sun goes down, she's wide awake. Wide awake. She'll sleep in chunks of 45 minutes. So I'm effectively now nocturnal. You should see me through the night.
Have you warned her?
I've tried to have a serious conversation with her, but like most people in my life, she just ignores me.
Do you have to get in the car?
I do have to drive around. I do have to drive
Elvis on. Or
I do drive around. I do everything. I think I'm getting a sleep coach.
Are you?
Yes, this is a thing. I don't know if this makes me sound
your
really
wife?
woke.
She not get up?
She gets up, but we kind of do it in shifts. I'm not around during the day, am I? So I kind
Well, if you want to leave a bit on her now, yeah, I'll open the door for you.
You can have
Does your wife do a share of getting up in the middle of the night?
She does more than her fair share.
Well said.
She does more than her fair share, but no, it is very tough. Colin?
Hello.
Sorry, you've just had to be part of my therapy session.
Well, I'll give you a little tip here, Rory. My lad, he slept all the way through the night and everything else. I used to put him to bed at night. And
no one likes a show off, Colin.
Sorry?
No one likes a show off.
No. I'll give you a bit of a tip. When you with the baby and everything else, and make sure that you make sure that they stay awake in the day, so they are tired at night. So wake them up. Don't let them go to sleep.
How would you wake up a 9-month-old baby during the day?
Well, cuddle them and everything else, and make sure that they get attention all the time, and that works for me. It worked for my lad and everything else, and we managed to get him 5-6 hours sleep at night. So when I got up at 5-6 o'clock to give him his first feed before I went to work, it was great. But we got some sleep.
Colin, I'm going to try this, and if it works, I'll change your name from Colin
so
in the shed to
confident.
Colin the Super Nanny, because I'm in the trenches like you wouldn't believe, Colin. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I do now have, though, some breaking news this evening. Reports are emerging tonight that Bayern Munich and Canada left-back Alphonso Davies will not feature in Canada's opening game against Bosnia and Herzegovina tomorrow.
Oh.
That is, of course, live on talkSPORT.
Big blow.
Big blow for Canada, that,
Yeah,
isn't
he's
it?
their best player, isn't he?
Yeah,
One of
really,
them.
really big blow. Up next, we want more of your calls as the World Cup has officially started after Mexico's 2-0 win over South Africa. 03717 223344.
Look at some of the other countries. Sorry, Andy. There's going to be top players on the bench. Look at France. You know, you could have Barcola, you could have Doué, you could have Cherki on the bench. So they will get their time. They will get their minutes. No, I'm saying I'm on about Rodgers being on the bench. I mean, you can have top players like Rodgers on the bench that comes on, affects the game. With this heat as well, you're going to need the whole squad, aren't you?
100%. You can see that the heat was affected him, especially in the beginning. I mean, that's where I have to say, guys, that's where I think Cole Palmer should have been on this plane. Yeah. Even if it's 15 minutes, you have to get that guy on the plane, man. That's the big decision where with the others, you can kind of argue a little bit, you know, but when it comes to Cole Palmer, we need that magic. Look at Brazil. Look at Carlo Ancelotti. He's taking Neymar, even though we know Neymar probably won't give him 90 minutes. But it's Neymar. He's got magical moments. Now, I'm not saying Cole Palmer is the same as Neymar. Watchers, I'm not saying that at all. But that's a player that can produce magic. And I'm a little bit worried that we don't have it, especially if you don't have a 100% fit Saka. You know? You don't... Yes, you've got Jude Bellingham. But besides Harry Kane, who's going to drop a lot, who's going to create the magic for you?
Joe, I was going to ask you about Saka not being there. He obviously needs minutes, and players that played for England out on the right in the last tournament aren't there. You mentioned Cole Palmer, Phil Foden being another one. I wasn't impressed when I saw Madueke's name in the squad. I saw him last night, an open goal. He decided to take a shot with the wrong foot as well. Is that a worry? Because he obviously needs to step up. You've seen him obviously for Arsenal.
Yeah, I mean, for me, I like what Madueke has done in terms of he's been able to push Saka in the Arsenal team. Personally, I would have probably gone Bowen, you know, instead of Madueke, or I would have just made sure that Cole Palmer got in the team. If Madueke is going to be there, he's probably going to be there because he's also a good sub. Now, when Tommy T is looking at this team, he's going, who's not going to cause me issues when they're not playing?
Yes.
You know, and because he's used to that relationship with Saka and he's used to being in and around the squad, that is also a bonus of having him there. But when it comes to that chance, you got to be scoring them, mate. You cannot be missing them. I don't care if you took it with the wrong foot. That is your moment to shine.
Yes.
Get ready to get the ultimate football fan winning feeling with talkSPORT Win.
That's right, we are giving you the chance to win a trip to the 2026 FIFA World Cup courtesy of Adidas. You and a mate could be in New York City on June the 27th, seeing England versus Panama live. We've got your flights, hotel, spending money, match tickets, and the official try-under match ball all covered. Head to talksportwin.com to enter and for full T's and C's now. But hurry, entries close tomorrow at 4 p.m. Right, we are now going to go straight back to the phone lines. Make sure that you give us a call. You could be on talkSPORT almost imminently. 03717 223344. Oh, we're now going to speak to London. I know London. How are you, sir? Hi, London.
Hi, good evening, my brother. How are you, Rory?
I'm very well. Great to talk to you again, mate. How's things?
Everything's good, man, apart from this defeat. My country just been handed by Mexico. Well, we gave them a win. Oh, sorry. Good evening, Dino. Good
Evening. I know you're going to say goalkeeper. 8 minutes into the game, what's he doing?
Dean. I mean, look, it's not even just that. This is why everybody's trying to play the Pep way. Seriously, Pep should be held as a football god, man. Because everybody's just, I just think that's not how South Africa plays. That's not how we play. We're playing from the back, and I just don't understand. I mean, look, you go, our manager, Belgian man, he's done okay. But the problem is, the South African Football Association, SAFA, SAFA needs to take a good look at itself, because we've been rubbish for like decades now. This is what the third World Cup we've qualified for, and you look at our successful eras. We're good in the 90s. In the 90s, Mr. Saunders, there's players I can mention that you played against. You played against Lucas Radebe. You played against Mark Fish. You played against
Philemon Masinga.
Phil Masinga, you played against
Benny McCarthy.
Benny McCarthy. I mean, like, that was later, but even Quentin Fortune, to a certain extent. And you look at all these. You look at the players. These guys, they played them. Or Sean Butler as well at Charlton. Let's not forget him. You look at all these guys in the 90s. That was the team. In the 90s.
So what's happened, London? Why is the
decline?
Yeah, what's happened? Why is there no creation of these players that are capable of doing a really good job in the Premier League? Like Lucas Radebe. Lucas Radebe was captain of that Leeds side that got to the semi-final of the Champions League, wasn't he?
Dean, for Lucas Radebe to captain Leeds United, at that time as well, with all these young guys and experienced guys, and David Barty, Hopkins, and and then all these young guys. I mean, Lucas Radebe is the biggest player in the South African national team's history. Looking at what he did. Okay, don't get me wrong. Benny McCarthy won the Champions League, but I'll tell you what the problem is, Dean. What it is now the money that's in the South African League is good enough to get these players, a good life. They can look after their families, and it's local, and I mean, fan-wise, the fans are always crazy, and the thing is the rivalry between Orlando Pirates and which is my club, and Kaizer Chiefs, who forever live. It's just like Galatasaray and Fenerbahce, that rivalry. And then you've got Mamelodi Sundowns, who are owned by a billionaire. So he said that, he's a billionaire in pounds. This man, Mamelodi Sundowns are just like, they just sign everybody, and everybody, it's like their ambition is to play for Mamelodi Sundowns. And now there's no ambition, in these players. There's no drive of want to make it in Europe. Just better yourself, compete, with the best, and stuff like, because the money's...
London, I've got a theory on it, and I was thinking if I could speak to the Welsh FA and advise them, I'm not going to, but if I was going to give them some advice, this goes for everybody. They put a program together, right? Whatever the nation is, and the program might be they sit down, under 12s, under 13s, under 14s, under 15s. Let's find some defenders who can play football. We got defenders who can edit and clear it, but we need them to be able to play football if we want to advance. Then we need wingers who can play like Salah and Mane, and they can pop in to midfield. We're going to play with one striker down the middle. And this has been going on for the last 10 years. And all of a sudden, because football goes in cycles, there's no strikers anywhere. You can't find any strikers because it's been coached out of them. I was taught how to score goals. I because I played with Ian Rush and Mark Hughes and people like we played as like mostly we either played 5-3-2 or we played 4-4-2. So we hunted in pairs and we were taught how to poach goals. So England, when I was playing, it was Shearer, Sheringham, Andy Cole, Robbie Fowler, Michael Owen, Heskey. They were queuing up. I could name another 10, right? Scotland, McAvenny, Ali McCoy, queuing up. Ireland, Cascarino, Niall Quinn. We had Mark Hughes, Ian Rush, myself, Craig Bellamy, John Hartson, and we had 7 or 8 behind that. Now, Craig Bellamy gets interviewed the other day on the TV, and he said, "What position do you think Haaaaas should play?" He said he's a number 9 for 2 reasons. I think he's good at it, and we haven't got any strikers coming through at all. And I think you find the same in South Africa and every other country. So they've got to start going from scratch again. I'm telling you now, it goes in cycles. In 5 years' time, if you start coaching strikers to players at 2, eventually football will come back to playing with 2 strikers. And you need to have some ready coming through. Harry Kane. Who's after Harry Kane? You're going to Saudi Arabia to get Ivan Toney because you haven't got any strikers. Solanke, Ollie Watkins. Strikers have disappeared. It's all wingers who nick 20 goals a season. So I think they've coached that way out of playing with strikers and defenders who can edit and defend and stop the opposition. They can all play out from the back. And look at your centre-backs tonight, the 3 of them. Think they're good players.
Oh, atrocious.
Right,
Oh, God.
Football works like this. At the back, good players. Midfield, very good players. And up the front, artists. The lad with no coordination, stick him in goals. Hopeless. So don't be surprised. Yeah, who's the worst player? Who's the worst player in any football team? Yeah, Rory, who's the worst player in any team?
I'm assuming the direction of travel we're going in here, we're going to say the goalkeeper.
Yeah, because he'd play out if he could. But he can't because he's hopeless, right? They play in goals. Yeah. Who's the next worst?
You're going to say the centre-half?
Yeah, 2 centre-halves, because if they were any good, they'd play up front. So why on earth do you want to have a 5-a-side in your own 6-yard box with your 3 worst players? And then you're shocked when they give the ball away. That's why they play back there.
What do you reckon, London?
Look, I 100% agree with what Dean is saying. Everything he just said. You know, and him taking the Welsh, his own nation, you know, speaking in such a passionate fashion, it's so lovely to hear because it's the same thing we're suffering with Rory and Rory, and the thing is, Rory and Dean, what our problem is, the last best coach we ever had, and the thing is, we're talking about 1998. His name was Clive Barker. This man understands South African football inside out. He's South African. He coached in South Africa. He's never coached abroad. The man, he got South Africa qualifying for the World Cup in France, 98. For the first ever time, South Africa made it to a World Cup. South Africa travels to, there was this little mini tournament of 4 nations. I think that was in Saudi Arabia. And South Africa didn't really perform so well. But we've already qualified for the World Cup. And I look at the friendlies we were having at that time. We were playing the likes of France. We were playing the likes of Germany. You know, we were preparing ourselves for, like, really big teams. We even played England at Old Trafford, if you remember. Ian Wright scored. I think Ian Wright, he handballed. The goal was, he controlled the ball with his hand anyway. So England won. But we were playing these nations that we know are possible opposition in the World Cup in 98. And the coach, we go to this mini tournament in Saudi Arabia. We come back, the media's on his neck. You know, they criticize him, this and that. And the man he's thinking, I've just won the African Nations Cup in 96. I've got us qualifying. I've got us in the World Cup for the first time in 98. Here we are. And you know what? The man was, you would think he murdered somebody. They criticized him. Oh, man, I couldn't believe the criticism that was coming his way. And
London, the crisis goes a bit, if it is a crisis of you not bringing players through, it'll go back 5 or 6 years where you've got under 12s, under 13s, under 14s, under 15s. The coaches who are taking those groups of players, they have to install certain things to make them professional footballers. It's not all about flicks and tricks. Number one, they've got to be able to give a pass and receive a pass. So you coach them out to receive the ball on the half turn, and then you develop it into them. Things get a bit more difficult. But alongside that, your attitude comes first. Do you work hard? If you don't work hard, go and play for someone else. Are you going to dig in when you're losing? Are you prepared when the tide turns against us to stop your man from scoring? Or are you just only interested in when we got the ball? You only want to play when you got the ball. These things have got to be installed in young lads so it becomes normal to them. And then the skill, you coach alongside it. Because you're all trying to bring, every country's trying to bring superstars through. But if you've got a group of players that have all got good attitudes, look at Croatia. There's players playing for Croatia. Like he's got 198 caps, Modric. Kramovic has got 140 odd. That team is a team of warriors. If you play for Croatia, I think it's been installed into you. You are a warrior. That's their biggest strength. And I think it gets bypassed because some of these young coaches have swallowed a laptop and swallowed a coaching manual and think, let's play like Pep Guardiola. You've got to know the basics as well.
Yeah.
If you give the ball away, Rory, you can't play Sunday League.
Yeah, I completely agree.
Sunday League manager will bring you off.
Yeah, but somehow you get away with it at top-tier football.
You've got to be able to control the ball and pass it where you're aiming it most of the time.
I agree. London, what do you think? Have you got a chance of still making it through?
Look, I still believe because the thing is, that place can still get you through. I like to think, the coach would just, analyze this game and, sit them boys down. Because the thing is, there did not seem to be a game plan. We in midfield, it was just, look, it was easy to just go through there. The system he was playing, I've never seen him play that system before. And it was a surprise to me why he's playing this system. The players, they played like they've never played with one another before. And it was just strange. I mean, like, I've got, relatives and friends in South Africa, we're hitting each other on WhatsApp and they're just thinking, we've never seen this before. I mean, I just think he was going to get it right, in the next game. And look, you got to always believe. And the thing is, it's for the first time since 2010 we're here. We can't just give it away like that. The 2 red cards just sums up our performances. Even though one of them I don't think was a red card, but hey, at this stage, even some of the tackles, them boys have been putting in, man. It's just like, I mean, come on, this is not the.
By the way, I've got to mention it before you leave. The goalkeeper done it again in the second half. Exact same thing.
Tactic. London, we wish you well. I really do. I hope it goes well for South Africa. Always great to speak to you, London. Up next, we're going to be joined by talkSPORT.com's Jack Cunningham as we get tomorrow's back pages.
What about the World Cup? Is the US of A ready for the World Cup? I went out with producer Luke and assistant producer Joe in the streets of Lower Manhattan yesterday, and we kind of gauged the feeling. You lot ready for this?
I think the country will probably be most into it right in the group stage because that's probably when we're going to do the best, unfortunately. I think there are great soccer towns in America. I'm not sure New York is one of them.
Not that much this year, to be honest. With the Knicks in the finals, I think that's taken the attention of the city.
It doesn't sound like they're buying tickets, so, only so much. Yeah. They're not really buying into it. Did they not sell out the first game? Is that what I heard?
I don't follow soccer that much, so no. And then as a
person that lives here, it's going to be quite disruptive for us. So, but hey, should be a good event, hopefully.
Yeah, I think it's at MetLife Stadium, so there's a lot of attraction there. The Giants play there, the Jets play there, so there's going to be a lot of people flying in from overseas to check out the games for sure. Yeah.
So it's the biggest World Cup ever. Might it be the best World Cup ever?
I hope so. Yeah. I mean, right now it's just Knicks, but we'll get to the World Cup when we get there.
You gotta watch something. You gotta support everybody.
Okay, and the USA are in it. Obviously, they're one of the host nations.
But we ain't gonna win.
No? Who'll win it?
More likely gonna be Spain.
Yeah, probably. How's Birmingham, Alabama?
Hot, mosquitoes, a lot of loud talking people.
Birmingham, Alabama. Wow, as the song goes.
That's where you can say howdy y'all.
Howdy y'all. I'll remember that next time when I'm down in that part of the world. Do you think this place is ready for it?
Yeah, I've been around to a lot of the cities now, most of them actually, and they're ready. This is a little bit different here just because the Knicks are in the final. If the Knicks weren't in the final, it would be a little bit more prepped with regard. And don't forget that it's also in New Jersey where the stadium is, not in central New York. And if you're on Manhattan, you're in another goldfish bowl, as Simon will know from being here. So.
He's one of, if not the greatest of all time. Diego Maradona led Argentina to glory in 1986, producing some incredible moments on the way. But his World Cup story wasn't all triumph and inspiration. A fresh-faced 21-year-old Maradona arrived at the 1982 World Cup as the next great hope for Argentina. But his tournament debut didn't go to plan. Argentina were knocked out early on, and Maradona was criticised for underperforming. His legend truly begins 4 years later, when, in the Estadio Azteca in Mexico City, he created outrage and infamy with one flick of his wrist, the hand of God. He punched it into the net. Peter Shilton called him a cheat. Maradona described the referee Ali bin Nasser, who missed it, as his great eternal friend. Then just 4 minutes later, he picks up the ball in his own half and starts to dance around the England team. He goes past one, then another. Can we have that music off, please? Anyway, the run ends in glory for Maradona, and just days later, he was lifting the World Cup trophy, Argentina's second, and returning home a national hero. Hopes were high for Italia 90 when he'd captained the side again, but it was bizarre. Maradona was playing his club football in Italy at the time, winning titles for Napoli, and the Neapolitans were actually supporting Argentina over their own country when they faced off in the semi-final. Argentina won that game, but lost to West Germany in the final, and Maradona burst into tears. The 1994 World Cup would be his last. I mean, even his fashion had gone downhill. He was sent home after 2 games for failing a doping test due to something he'd ingested from an energy drink. But does a Red Bull make you look like this? Maradona would never pull on the blue and white stripes again. He did come back as manager, but was sacked after they were knocked out in 2010. The goal of the century is a permanent reminder that he may well have been the greatest of them all. Before it, his ascent, and after it, his dramatic descent, only highlights the mountain peak that was Maradona's 86.
Good evening and welcome to the Sports Bar with me, Rory Jennings, alongside Dean Saunders. A reminder that we have a brand new Sports Bar podcast, which is available now, featuring all of the best bits from the show. Still to come tonight, we're going to be joined by Mexican football expert John Bonfiglio. We'll also be joined by Asian football expert Steve Hahn as we look ahead to South Korea versus the Czech Republic, which is live on talkSPORT in a few hours' time. But first, it's time for this. This is the Ralph Ellis back pages with myself, Rory Jennings, and Dean Saunders. Joining us now is Jack Cunningham from talksport.com to take us through the back pages. How are you, Jack?
More lads.
Evening, Jack. Very good, very good.
It's not evening anymore. It's the morning.
Is it?
It is the morning, yeah.
We've crossed the threshold.
We've crossed the threshold. It is now the morning.
How are you, Jack? Everything going well?
Yeah, not too bad at all, yeah. Well, good World Cup finally got going, didn't it? I felt like the build-up was going on for a while. So
yeah, did you watch the first game? You managed to...
Did watch the game, yeah. We covered it.
What do you reckon?
So, well, that's what we're going to talk about. The first one, I mean, the actual game itself was pretty awful, to be brutally honest. I think that the South Africa were so bad. I mean, such a terrible performance from them. You wait all that time to get back in the World Cup 2010, and then you walk up and have one shot on target from about 40 yards out it was. No, it's hard playing in Mexico. I think they've lost 2 times in 85 international games at the Azteca, which is absolutely outrageous, to be fair. And it was obviously a brilliant moment for Raul Jimenez, wasn't it? You know, if we think about what Raul Jimenez has been through with the skull fracture against what Arsenal it was.
Yeah.
Since then, he's come back. He turned himself into he got back to being a solid Premier League striker. He's going back to Wolves now. And then he gets his first World Cup goal at the age of 35 on his first World Cup start as well. And of course, he had an emotional tribute to his dad, his late father, who passed away. And that's what the World Cup's about. Moments like that. Yes, we've had a lot of pretty awful build-up, which is absolutely, you can't just whitewash at all. But ultimately, the World Cup is about these sort of moments, and this is something Raul Jimenez will never forget, scoring in front of 85,000
Absolutely, and there's a lovely story here in the Times about that, where they've spoken about how off the back of the rip-off tickets and the protests, watching Jimenez celebrate that goal was truly, truly beautiful. What other stories have you got for us?
Yeah, so Tuchel looking at, well, basically, obviously, we got after the game against Costa Rica, I thought England played very well, actually. Tuchel has decided to give England some time off. I think it was a day and a half off before they fly to Kansas City, which is going to be this weekend. That's where England's training camp is going to be. And essentially, the deal with the time off was that they could do whatever they want as long as they didn't fly and were sensible. Now, this obviously comes at the same time as we've had the England cricket captain, Ben Stokes, being done for breaking the curfew and being involved in an incident in a nightclub with a Saracens rugby player and Gus Atkinson. He's being dropped, of course, for the second test against New Zealand. Joe Root stepping in as interim captain. Feels like Stokes is going to come back with that. I think if Harry Brook had just replaced him, it would have been a case of they're just moving Stokes on. But with that one, the difference between the cricket and the football team is, I think with Stokes, he is the captain, and no matter what the curfew is or if there anything else has happened, there is a curfew in place. I don't think you can...
Can I ask you about this?
Yeah, go for it. Yeah.
Right, so as a manager myself, and you're trying to control 35 multi-millionaires for a start, right? They'll just do what they want at the end of the day, but you've got to try and control. It's difficult.
It is.
And all the cricketers are millionaires now as well. Ben Stokes is a superstar. So I understand what happened with Duckett on Australia. So they put this curfew in place, right? But
And
what I
Brook
want to
as well,
know
New
is...
Zealand as well.
And what?
Brook in New Zealand as well, yeah.
So I want to know, is there a curfew during the test match? Because he went out after the test match, or is the curfew for the series?
Yeah.
Because he went out on Sunday night, and the next game's not till... was it 10 days?
Yeah.
So what's wrong with that?
Yeah, it's a fair question. I think the problem is we don't actually know when the curfew wasn't really made clear when it covers. But I think the issue with it is either way, if there is something in place, I think as the captain and as someone who has already decided he wasn't going to drink anymore, I think you can't really go out and break that curfew, even if nothing happened, even if he was just involved, even if he was just there while something happened. I just think it's the wrong message in any way. And I feel like he shouldn't really come back from it as much as he's an unbelievable player and has delivered some fantastic moments for England. I just think that.
Well, he must have been in the meeting when they put the curfew.
Well, exactly.
Right?
Well, yeah, he's the captain. He's setting the standards.
So he must know what the rules are.
Yeah, he's
right?
setting
So
the
if he's
standards.
gone out when he knows there's a series curfew, for the whole series because we've been in trouble and we're getting bad press for it, then he's out of order. But if it's during the Test match, you've got to be in bed by 12 o'clock every night, and there's no curfew for it's just per game. The game had finished, and he went out after the game.
Yeah. But then all the other players went home. So him and Gus Atkinson, they were just stayed out.
But who would you pick first in your team? You've
Well, of
got to be
course.
careful because players like that, he's a genius.
I agree, but does that
He's
mean
on the edge?
Does that mean he gets away with breaking the rules?
So that's why I'm asking you: as he broke the rules, is it the series curfew or is it just per game?
Well, the thing is, Rob Keane never made it clear what it was. But I do know he said he's going to bring in a booze ban potentially.
So let's hope though that the England players out in the States have been given their time
Yeah,
off.
they've been
They
given
can
their
do what
time
they want.
Yeah.
As long as they don't copy the cricket law.
Basically, yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah, exactly.
Any other stories caught your eye, Jack?
Yeah, so we've got the UEFA appointed the Somalian referee for the UEFA Super Cup. Of course, we saw Omar Artan did not get in to the US despite being selected and being named as Africa's best referee. Somalia is on a list of travel bans in the US. So essentially, he got a diplomatic visa. He was allowed to be there, but they decided when he got there he wasn't going to be. The response from FIFA Gianni Infantino was just, so wishy-washy and so...
What did he say? Stay calm.
He
What
said...
did he say? Chill.
Yeah, chill.
Chill, he said.
Chill.
So patronising.
It's so patronising. And, he's also saying things about, we can't do anything about it. Well, I think FIFA can do things about it because they've moved tournaments before when other things have happened. They could have done something about it to make sure...
FIFA, when they need to do something. I mean, Cristiano Ronaldo will be playing in the tournament.
Despite the fact
Despite the fact that he shouldn't be. So they can certainly make things happen. But what we said, so the Somalian referee is he will be the referee when Aston Villa face Paris Saint-Germain in Salzburg.
Yeah.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah,
that's good from UEFA.
Really good. Really nice olive branch out to the referee, giving him the chance to... show what he can do on the world stage, really, because he's being denied it by FIFA.
Yeah, absolutely. And anything else to talk about, Jack? Maybe anything off the website?
Yeah, so it's a bad one for you, Rory, actually, because you picked Japan as your dark horses, and they've already lost Matoma, and now they've lost Endo as well. So Wataru Endo is injured. He is their captain, but also he's retired from international football.
I had a go on them, 50-1.
Yeah, well,
that's a shame.
It's not great.
Lost yet.
No, but they have lost.
Jack's coming here like the Grim Reaper. I can tell Jack's here. You can tell, can't you, that he's ready to rain on my outside tip for the tournament.
Look, I heard you say Japan were dark horses. I thought it was.
Do you know what, Rory?
In many ways,
funny you should say that.
Lost 2 players.
Funny you should say that. He walked in, right? For those who can't see him, he's got grey trousers on, a grey T-shirt, and a grey personality.
Black and white trousers, by the way.
I'm only joking. That's a homage to his football team.
It is indeed. It is.
So all else is going well, Jack?
Yeah, all good. Yeah, I mean, obviously, thank God the season's finished. We can get on with it.
Yeah, you're not kidding.
Newcastle need a good start. Eddie Howe needs a good start.
He does need a good start.
Will Eddie Howe be there though?
Yeah, he will be. Yeah.
You think?
Yeah, it would have been done by now. Otherwise, he will be there.
That was a strange one, Kieran McKenna.
I can't believe it.
Yeah.
What do you reckon to that?
That was
Jack?
strange, wasn't it?
McKenna sort of deciding to walk away.
Yeah.
Very odd. Very odd.
Because at one point it looked like he was off to Fulham.
Yeah.
And that sort of made sense on some level, although I would argue that the Ipswich are a bigger club than Fulham, aren't they? Is that fair?
Ipswich is a big club.
Ipswich have won the league. Fulham have won nothing.
Ipswich has won European
UEFA Cup as well.
Yeah, and I think with Ipswich as well, like you get that chance again. You've got them promoted again. So you'd want to take that on and show we can give a better account of ourselves than we did last time.
Yeah, I was surprised that he walked away, but he wants to spend time with his family.
Yeah.
Jack, have you been following the situation? Is it on the talkSPORT website? What's been going on at Wolves?
Yeah, Wolves. Wow, this is so mental. Rob Edwards essentially found out this morning when he read reports that he'd been replaced. He'd been sacked. That's how he found out. And then we've also
so disrespectful.
It is so disrespectful.
He finds out on social media.
And the thing is, as well, you got to remember that Edwards came in the middle of the season. Look, in the end they went down, but I thought Wolves picked up. Certainly, probably January onwards, they picked up a little bit. By the end of the season, it'd fallen away a little bit. But surely at that point, he brings in Trippier, he gets Raul Jimenez in. You're looking at that like they're both still playing the Premier League, and he's got them in the Championship. Give him a chance to manage the club. It makes no sense.
People think that, don't worry, he'll get 8 million payoff. He'll be all right. But it's not. It's not that. When you're managing a football team, your pride.
Yeah.
It's me. I've got to get this right. Every day you're driven going in. I've got to get this right. I can't get sacked, right?
So he left Middlesbrough. He's already sacrificed a little bit of his integrity to go to this job, and now they've got rid of him.
Because Wolves is like the club that he played for. You know, dreamt of managing them.
So when you walk in the room and they prize him out of Middlesbrough, and he walks into the room at Wolves, and this is at any club, by the way, not just Wolves, and there's about 4 or 5 of them, directors and whatever they are, chief executives, and they're all shaking your hands and say, please come and sign for us. Please come and be our manager. And when you get sacked and the man doesn't even ring you.
Yeah. Appalling. It really is.
Face-to-face would be ideal. That's worse than getting sacked.
Yeah, I think it's a disgrace the way he's been treated.
Disrespectful.
Have you heard anything about how the players have taken this news?
Yeah, so TalkSPORT understands that Trippier is not happy. Trippier and several of the other players aren't happy. Now, I don't know how that's going to play out. There are reports online that Trippier is potentially going to cancel his contract. TalkSPORT understands that's not the case, but it's certainly one to keep an eye on, I think, simply because Trippier did join. He had offers in the Premier League, he had offers from abroad. He joined because he wanted to work under Rob Edwards, and he had some good conversations with Rob Edwards.
And he knows Rob Edwards likes him, right?
Yeah,
and he'll be thinking, what if the next bloke don't like me?
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, I'd be surprised if the next bloke didn't like Trippier in the Championship. But
Who sold him in the past? What manager? He was at Spurs, wasn't he?
Pochettino, Simeone sold him reluctantly to Newcastle, and then in the end, I think with Newcastle, I think it was more his decision rather than Howe's decision. Really, I think Howe would have kept him on.
Jack, always a joy to
Pleasure.
talk to you. Thank you
Jack.
so much. Up next, we'll be joined by Mexican football expert John Bonfiglio. You are listening to Talk Sport. You are listening to the World Cup Sports Bar, brought to you by Burger King Burger Buddies. Total tournament satisfaction delivered by the experts. Order now on the BK app.
Locking on back in the UK, of course, and we're right across the lot. We mentioned earlier that Martin O'Neill has been installed at Celtic. Just in the passing, you pleased for him. 1 year deal, Simon.
Yeah, I think that's right. I think Martin, the only person that would have talked him out of that circumstance is Martin. So I think probably Martin would do a 1 with a rolling year.
Yeah.
So that puts him in a situation where you can see how he feels in a year's time. I don't even know why it was a conversation. I don't even know why it was a debate about whether Martin O'Neill should stay in place. I think it's the least they could have offered him. I hope they've remunerated him properly, and I hope that he continues to build on his legacy, because I like him. Now, obviously, I don't know where you sat on it. I think I know where you sat on it. Nobody wanted Celtic to win besides Celtic fans, because we wanted Hearts to win.
Well, that would have been the story, yeah.
Yeah.
But the Celtic story was a great one, too.
Martin did his job.
Yeah.
I mean, he did his job. He went in there and he galvanised Celtic. And so the discussion about whether Martin O'Neill should be given a new contract perplexed me. Besides the fact he kept on telling on how bloody knackered he was.
Actually, Brad Friedel's with us, as he will be here in New York. Brad, whatever happened to Wilfred Nancy? Do we know? He came back here with his tail between his legs, having been a major flop in his short time in charge at Celtic.
I'll tell you, very similar. I came over here and I was the head coach of New England Revolution. I found it very difficult to go from the professionalism of the Premier League this way. I couldn't wrap my head around it. I was too stubborn to stay in my own professionalism. I wouldn't adapt to where the level of MLS was.
Steve Nichols there for a while as well, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was there with, and then Jay Heaps and then myself.
And Paul Marion as well.
I think what Wilfred did, he adapted to the US culture and he went over there. When you go to a club like Celtic and you hear his first interview, I don't care about the results, it's how we play. No. results matter, and the fans will actually put up with you playing poorly if you're winning the matches for a certain amount of time. So I think he found that change going to that type of club very, very difficult.
Yeah.
With Martin, I played for Martin for 2 years at Villa. He's the boss. He knows what he's doing. When I first got there, it was the first time I had met him and knew him other than playing against him. He's quirky in how he runs the club, but then there's always a moment when a manager really sets that I'm the boss.
You are listening to the World Cup Sports Bar on talkSPORT with myself, Rory Jennings, and Dean Saunders. Earlier today, the World Cup got underway. It wasn't a pulsating game, but it was a joy to have football back, competitive football back, international knockout tournament football back as Mexico beat South Africa 2-0 in the World Cup opener. Dean Saunders and I watched it together. Dean, it was great to have football back, eh?
Oh, yeah. And every time I watch it, I think, I've not got any regrets in my career apart from I never played in the World Cup. So when I'm watching it, I'm thinking, oh, I'd love to have had a 3-4 weeks there where we're in a group and you're together with the lads and trying to take the country forward. But I got to do it with actually commentating and working for different stations when Wales qualified, Gareth Bale. So I got to see that. So that was my main thought tonight. But watching the games, I'm thinking, not really that impressed with Mexico, not really that impressed with South Africa so far. I think Mexico, if they were a proper team, they would have buried South Africa once they went 1-0 up. Yeah. They didn't get the second goal. They left the back door open. I thought South Africa were going to, I could see it coming. They've not created a chance all day, but they will get a couple of chances. And he could end up drawing this game 1-1. Yeah,
could have.
Jimenez scored, and that was too much for him.
That was joyful. In fact, so let's talk about that now in details. We're joined by Mexican football expert John Bonfiglio. John, you are live on talkSPORT. Thank you for joining us.
John, I didn't realise you were coming on there, so I didn't mean that about Mexico.
That's all good. I think you're spot on. Basically, I mean, Mexico have had a really poor side, an average side for a long time. They started really strongly today. They were sharp, but then they eased off. And South Africa really, what did they offer? Absolutely nothing. I mean, 2-0 sort of really flatters them.
Yeah, I thought that if you don't score the second goal, it was 70 odd minutes they scored the second one. If you don't score one now, right after half time, you're leaving South Africa a chance. No matter how bad you are, you will get a corner, you'll get a free kick, you'll get half a chance somewhere. And you end up drawing a game that you should have won 3 or 4-0. But great goal from Jimenez.
Yeah, and also, I mean, who didn't feel good about that Raul Jimenez goal? I mean, what he's gone through his life, the sort of the battles and the challenges that he's fought, and then, I mean, he just instinctively just burst into tears. Obviously, his dad has died recently in the last couple of months too, and he just through the drinks break, he just kept weeping. It was just such a big moment for him, and beyond the sort of the parochialism of national, international sports or whatever, that was a deeply personal moment for Raul Jimenez.
Yeah, absolutely. What's the atmosphere like? What was it like in the Azteca? What's the streets of Mexico City like off the back of that victory?
I mean, pretty crazy. It's you can add the sort of the chaos of the hundreds of thousands of fans on the streets of Mexico City. You multiply that with a massive thunderstorm that we had just a couple of hours ago. So there's traffic chaos everywhere because there's flooding in place. And there's still very much the residue of the trouble that we had, the protests. I mean, yesterday was a completely different day to today. Yesterday, there was a real vibe in the air. There was 100,000 riot police deployed across the city to sort of limit the potential for protests that were taking place. And it felt really potentially ugly. But whereas today, right from the get-go, it was difficult to see people moving around without Mexican shirts. It's still the case with everybody around me, and a real sort of hope and joy infused into the air. And that's luckily with a 2-0 victory, that hope has driven through the day and will do so long into tonight. There are car horns bleating everywhere, people shouting, Mexican flags going everywhere. I don't think anybody is deluded into thinking that that this is everything's going to be plain sailing from here on in. But at least even against South Africa, they got the job done.
Yeah, it looks like that 3 points will get them through to the next stages. And I've not looked back in history. Where's the best they've finished, Mexico, in history?
They've never finished above the quarters, and they basically keep going out regularly in the round of 16. And I think what's interesting about Mexico is that it's never really about the opposition that they face, because they've always had pretty good players. But it's always about the fact that the general rule with Mexico is they go 1-0 up in an important sort of knockout match, and then they let the other team in and tend to sort of lose 2-1. It's normally sort of an Argentina or something like that. It's more about them coming together and about their lack of mental fortitude in those latter stages. The fact that they don't really ultimately believe in themselves. We'll see if this World Cup on home soil now is anything different. If Coach Javier Aguirre, El Vasco as he's called, can really sort of pull them together. I think it does them a favour that for the first time in years, they have no real stars. They have nobody that they can sort of really rely on to, or at least they think that they can rely on to get them out of a hole. And as a result, they've actually, especially in the warm-up matches, they've really played as a team sort of uniquely, and that's kind of unusual. The other thing I'd add, though, is that the Mexican crowds are pretty fickle. I mean, you saw at the beginning of the second half sort of booing and whistling that was taking place there. So the Mexican team really need to ride this wave, and a difficult result against South Korea could well get the crowd on their backs again.
With that in mind, why was that? What was the hostility towards the home team about? Like, we heard the noise, we heard the whistling, but what was it actually born out of? Just the style of play or the lack of ambition?
Yeah, it's almost a sort of a Spurs thing, where it's there's this perspective here that Mexico is a great footballing nation that has footballing pedigree. I mean, and it does to some extent, but really it does more in footballing history than anything that the national side has achieved. And there's sort of a demand that Mexico play a particular brand of football, that this sort of view that Mexico should be up there with the Brazils of this world. And so when Mexico displays in particular, it's not about them not doing well, it's about them displaying a lack of ambition. And it was that, I mean, bear in mind in the second half, South Africa had gone down to 10 men and then went down to 9 men. Mexico weren't really producing anything. And that's what really didn't just disappoint the fans, angered the fans. They couldn't quite believe that was happening. And that's the reason for that, on the face of it, what would seem externally to be a strange response from the crowd.
It's just a bit like lack of belief, isn't it, over the years? It's like you score too early and think, oh, let's hang on to the points. The equivalent is when your racehorse who back gets to the front too soon and then slams the brakes on because it's got no belief that it's going to carry on. So I think once they get a bit of success, once they've done it once, that'll all change. Yeah.
I think they need to face some difficult moments, which is not what happened in today's match. And as a team or individuals within the team need to pull them through. I think Raúl Jiménez is a crucial figure there, and also worth a mention of Julián Quiñones, who plays in Saudi Arabia, emerged as top scorer in this recent season, because he's something of a live wire, and he doesn't come with that. He's Colombian born and is naturalized as a Mexican player. He doesn't come with that sort of mental baggage. So somebody like him could potentially pull those sort of key moments out in favor of Mexico. History is not on their side, but it does need somebody to change that narrative, and it's the hope, isn't it?
Sometimes it's a striker. You have, like, being a striker myself, if I scored one, I'm thinking to myself, I'll get a hat-trick here.
Yeah.
But some strikers are just happy they've got the one. You know what I mean? They sit back, they think, I've done my job. And that's the same in midfield and wide plays. I've made a goal. All right, that's me done for the day.
Yeah, I know exactly what you mean, Dean. I know exactly what you mean. John, can I ask you about the other stadiums? I thought the Azteca was absolutely amazing in Mexico City. It just looked beautiful. And I think that we could have a serious conversation about why it's not hosting the final. But there's also a couple of other stadiums, one in Guadalajara, one in Monterrey. What can we expect from those?
Yeah, I mean, I think you're absolutely right about the Estadio Azteca. It's a travesty, really, that it's not hosting the final, given its iconic status. And really, I mean, what that tells us is that this, on the face of it, this is a World Cup across 3 nations, but really it's a World Cup in the USA with some fringe events in Mexico and Canada. The other 2 stadiums in Guadalajara and Monterrey, also serious international stadia. The Estadio Akron in Guadalajara is just about as modern a sort of a beacon of a stadium as you would come across. I was there recently for the intercontinental playoffs, and it is a sort of a unique 21st century construction. And then up in Monterrey, also it's sort of an iconic stadium as well, because it's in the sort of lee of this mountain, which they call a sort of which looks like a saddle, a horse saddle, and it's also sort of has become over time a really sort of famous stadium here in Mexico too. All very different conditions, I think it's important to say. Mexico City, of course, at altitude, which is going to be play a big part in the matches that are played here. And then the other 2, Guadalajara, is much sort of hotter, sweatier, and then you've got the dry heat of Monterrey in the north of Mexico as well. So 3 very different, despite the fact that they're in the same country, 3 very different locations with different physical challenges.
And next up for Mexico, it's South Korea.
Yeah, and that's going to be a major challenge, isn't it? I mean, South Korea, I don't remember a World Cup in which there was as many strong sides as there are in this one. I think South Korea is going to present a real challenge to Mexico. Also, the fact that game is taking place in Guadalajara, it's a serious stadium, but it doesn't have the sort of it's not imposing on sides in the way that the Azteca is. So I think that's really Mexico's first real test. From there, we'll know a lot more about what we can expect from them, and if they're going to, of course, head up the team and lead to a potential, it's a long way ahead yet, but a potential quarter-final with England.
Yeah, that will just be amazing, won't it? Like England taking on Mexico in the last 16 in the Azteca. John, amazing.
That would be amazing.
Absolutely brilliant. Thank you so much for your time.
Thanks, John.
Right,
Rory was gutted. He thought John Bon Jovi was coming on. A bang out of order.
He's busy elsewhere.
That was John Bonfiglio, a Mexican football expert. Brilliant stuff there. Really, really insightful. Up next, we're going to be joined by Asian football expert Steve Hunt. You are listening.
I thought that the 21 players today were absolutely brilliant. How all played well. The only person I didn't think contributed very much down the right was James. I was very disappointed with him. He didn't really support the winger, and that was a concern, not like the left-hand side, which was absolutely brilliant. But one other point I just want to bring up, we made 11 substitutes. You can't do that in the World Cup, I'm afraid. You know, we're going to have to keep some of the players on, and as long as the back four keep okay, we'll be able to make the other 5 substitutes at the business end.
Yeah, I mean, it's a friendly, and that was used as that. He'd done something.
Just minutes, get the boys minutes under the belt.
They've got
in these conditions.
They've got an hour's football tomorrow. Another friendly. He'll probably change things around. There's a number of players that came on 71 minutes. Have highlighted those. I think today's exercise, or last night's it was, I think it ticked all the boxes, Gemma.
It's put us in a great position. I think we're in the best position to be, finally trying to bring this home. I think the players all look up for it. The cohesion, the style is what we've been crying out for. Yeah. That aggressive front foot, punishing teams, attacking football because we've got the players to do it. not being afraid of anyone. And I think that's the style we've all been crying for, and we're finally seeing it.
Yeah. Who starts centre half for you, Cole?
Oh, Stones and Gay, without a doubt. And I put Concert out on the right, or bring in Spence and put him on the right.
Yeah, not dropping Reece James.
Well, I don't think James contributed very much, but obviously the manager likes him a lot, and but he's got to contribute more to the attacking side of it.
Yeah, I think Reece was slightly more reserved.
I think that's just what I said. The game was that easy. Yeah. He was just reserved. He was like, "Do you know what? I don't need to bomb forward. It's hot. We know we've got big games coming up. I don't need to try and get injured. I'll just give it to Madway."
You are listening to the World Cup Sports Bar on talkSPORT, brought to you by Enterprise Rent-A-Car. Here for it. Book it now at enterprise.co.uk. Dean Saunders alongside myself, Rory Jennings. Dean, we're just talking about England. England will be getting underway very soon. The World Cup is now a real tangible thing. When you look at this England squad, how do you feel about it?
After watching it last night, I thought, that's it. That's more like it. I've thought going back in my head, can you remember he played Trent in the middle of midfield, Saka on the right, Foden on the left, and Harry Kane up the middle, and there was no wide receivers. All three of them were coming towards the ball, non-stop. No one running in behind without the ball. Watching Gordon and Madueke last night, and Saka will do it. The wide players will direct. Gordon last night, refreshing to watch.
Yeah.
He's not one of them wingers that turns back and then passes, takes the easy option. He goes for the throat. And it shows. England have come a long way, by the way, to leave out Real Madrid's right back, Chelsea's best player, Palmer, Trent, and he's left Foden, who's won 6 league titles. Among others, Harry Maguire, Man United centre-half. I know Grealish is injured, but he wouldn't have got in, 100 million. That's never happened before.
Absolutely.
The pool's getting bigger and bigger.
Yeah, no, England are certainly capable. There is certainly a chance that we could actually make something happen. Helping us debate it a little bit further, the wonderful Ollie Clink has just stepped into the studio. The main man.
Ollie, I got to say before you say a word, your hair looks lovely.
Thank you so much, Dean.
Thank
you so much.
Where'd you get it from?
The back of my head. Grew it myself.
It's tremendous.
No, it does look amazing.
Well, do you know what? I went to Goodwood with Dino and Alan Brazil. We had a fantastic week. And at that point, I hadn't had any work done, Cundy style, on my hair. My bonnet got ripped to shreds. But actually, the person who ripped it to shreds the most, and this is rich coming from him, by the way, Neil Warnock.
No.
I remember.
Did Neil Warnock have a pop in your hair?
Neil Warnock. And we've all seen his hairline. Bless you, Neil. Right? And I remember, Dean, I was sat with you. We were having a little post-show debrief. And Neil Warnock turned to me. And, he turned to you and just went, hey, Dino. Hey, if it were a wig factory, it would have gone out of business.
He did, yeah.
Amazing.
I tell you what,
so that inspired it. That inspired it.
You've got like a lion's mane.
Thanks, man.
Now he has, but you know how it starts? Because your inside forwards are all right, Rory, aren't they? You're all right.
I'm
how it starts, right?
Yeah.
You know when you brush your teeth?
Yeah.
And you start brushing your teeth, and then you look in the sink, there's a few hairs in there. Oh, where's that come from? And I've started noticing the top of my head now thinning out a bit.
No, but
you're
you've
getting
got
a bit
good
worried.
head of hair.
Right, Dino?
As soon as you're over the age of 35, you
Well, you ain't going bald. I would have gone bald by now, would I?
You've got a good head of hair.
I've got a number for you, Dino, if you want it.
Well, hey, you've done a good job on that.
Do you know what Dean told me off air?
Go on.
He actually told me that he's slightly worried.
Is it
about-
for hair?
He actually, no, a lot of it wasn't, but this one can be. He actually told me that he's slightly worried. This is completely unfounded. There's no truth in this, but he said he's slightly worried about his hair at the back because he's got himself such a comfortable sofa where he watches the telly that he thinks he's rubbing the same part of his head on the same part.
No. Ollie, listen to this, right? I've got, in my room, I've got one of them big king-size sleigh beds, right? And I've got, at the end of the bed,
Yeah.
the wall is painted with a special paint, white, so it absorbs the light from a projector that I've got behind the bed. So my screen is the size of someone's living room, right? So I got the remote control. The only thing is, I have to lay in the bed dead straight. So the back of my head is it in the board, the headboard, and you know, like babies have a ball patch laying in the cot. I've got a ball patch coming at the back of my head.
What it is, you don't have that.
It'll get to a
That
stage,
doesn't
though.
exist.
It will get to a stage where you can project films on the back of your head.
Anyway, how much was that?
Oh, you don't want to know, do you?
What, do you pay for it?
He's a very wealthy man, though, Ollie.
Yeah.
Very wealthy.
Yeah.
He paid with it. He paid for it with the change down the back of the sofa.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can't believe it's like curly, like the rest. How's that
Have you
happened?
permed it?
You haven't had a
No
perm.
comment. No, I haven't had a perm. But
Where did you take it from? The back of your... Are you sure it was from the back of your head? It looks a bit curly today.
They could have taken it from my eyebrows.
Do you
We could have
think
took-
loads of people
I know
are
where
doing
they've
this
taken it from. You're not kidding us.
Yeah. Loads of people are doing it now, aren't they? These hair, like obviously Jason Cundy's done it. He's just coming along nicely.
Mm-hmm.
People seem to be doing it left, right, and centre. Did you go abroad?
No.
See, but so you had like a Patreon.
I went same place as Cundy. Sadly, I went before him, so he didn't get me a discount.
Did you get him a discount?
I don't think he needed one, mate.
See, Thomas Tuchel, right? He attempted. Now he's given up.
Yeah, go on,
But he
Dean. Carry on.
attempted to go for that Bobby Charlton, didn't he?
Yeah.
He was dragging it over. You had a little go, Ollie, didn't you?
Yeah,
You were
yeah.
trying to drag the few strands across. You know,
Fooling no one.
you were just pulling it over, trying to hang on to it. And Thomas Tuchel's given up now, hasn't he? He's just gone for the granddad look.
Dino,
Where you've got bits of hair at the sides.
Yeah.
Dino, do you want to know something funny? Right, is I've just seen Rory out in the office, said hello and everything like that, and he was like, "Do you want to jump on and talk about the game coming up, South Korea, Czechia, second game of the World Cup that's coming up live at 3 a.m. here on talkSPORT. Got loads of build up before that, so I thought I'd give that a plug first." And I just said to Rory, I was like, "Mate, we can do, but I promise you, we will speak about my hair for 10 minutes."
That's what he said. Ollie, honestly, when I asked Ollie to come in, he went, "Yeah, I will, and of course we're going to try and talk about football, but I guarantee you that Dean will talk about my hair for 10
But you
minutes."
don't care as long as you're talking about him. Don't let him.
mind it. I don't mind
let's, This is enough about me. Let's talk about me.
Yeah. So what have you got coming up? You're covering the what fixture? Czech Republic.
Yeah, more hair coming through. Firstly, hopefully. South Korea, Czechia. 3 a.m. kickoff for that one. Before that, we're going to
What
be
are you saying?
Czechia.
What are they called?
Czechia.
Czechia. Never heard of them.
Yeah.
Is it what? Are they in the World Cup? Czechia.
Yeah. Wales.
Czech Republic. The Czech Republic. What that? By the way, that was below the belt. Don't think I missed that comment. Because Wales aren't in it.
Earlier, I heard you say.
Anti-Welsh again.
I heard you
on
say.
this station.
Oh, Curaçao, how have they qualified? And you're forgetting that Wales aren't even there.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. How can Quartersall qualify and Wales haven't? What they called? Curacao.
Curacao.
You can't say that.
Cucurella.
Yeah, Curaçao. Did you just say Cucurella?
So you're covering that one, eh?
I am. Yeah.
Through the night.
Through the night. So I'm on from 1 o'clock after you guys. And then I'm going to be live in the England camp with Faye Carruthers. She's going to talk about the move with that. Jim Proudfoot's also going to join us for an England update, the England commentator too. We're going to be checking out the Scotland camp because their game's coming up 2 a.m. on the 14th against Haiti. How do you fancy Scotland's chances, Dean?
I'm supporting Scotland.
Are you?
Yeah.
Are you really?
Yeah. I mean, I think I just got a feeling. You know the way the league went this year with Hearts coming. I think it's strengthened Scottish football. Hearts nearly getting in there. So now it's like 3 teams going. And we've been talking about Scottish football now for a number of
And then you got the boys out in Italy. So
yeah.
I mean that hair is what I'm aspiring to. Scott McTominay. Wow.
What
that Barnett is ridiculous.
They've got some. Well, McTominay gets goals, doesn't he? And he's got a great attitude. John McGinn, leader. They've lost Billy Gilbert, but the Portsmouth centre half. But they've lost actually Gilbert. He is a really good footballer, so they'll miss him. But they've got some good players.
Yeah, very
Scotland
good players.
now.
Yeah.
And by the way, 2 years ago, they were looking round for a player.
Yeah. And they beat Curacao 4-1 the other day in their warm-up game.
Curacao, what a team they are. Curacao.
Yeah, good team.
Yeah, they are.
What do you call the Czech Republic again?
Czechia.
Czechia.
Yeah.
I'm not having that.
Well, there you go. Up next, Ollie, it was emotional.
Oh, it was a journey, that.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for coming in.
Thank you.
And your hair does look resplendent.
Thank you so much.
Really does.
What a Barnet.
What a Barnet. Up next, producer Jack will join us as we play Who Am I?
Kickoff was delayed even more by what was a monsoon over in the States, Gemma. But let's talk about England's performance. What do you make of it, first and foremost?
Look, they got the job done. End of the day, they're going to come up against a lot tougher test.
Yeah.
I thought they were poor. Yeah. They couldn't even string a couple of passes together.
No.
And they obviously England should have really scored more.
Yeah.
And Weke, that should have been a goal. That's a shocker.
I mean, that
Rodgers, he should have scored that as well.
Yeah.
And we are a little bit wasteful. I thought we were a bit wasteful, actually, against New Zealand, in all honesty, because they had chances and didn't punish them, only 1-0. But I have to say, I was really impressed with the energy, the fluidity, the movement. That opening 25 minutes, I thought we were good. Costa Rica were bad. I'm not going to take no, but you still have to put in a performance. We played against bad teams in the past and not put in that kind of performance.
No, like I said, the first 10, 15 minutes, we were on the front foot. We were not giving them a sniff. We was bopping the ball around.
High energy, high tempo, good press.
Especially, in this heat as well, good press, winning the ball high, being really cutthroat, but just sometimes not. That little end product at times, we're just lacking.
Yeah.
And I think that will be a worry when we start getting into the latter stage of the tournament, when we come up to teams like Spain and France.
One chance might be all you get. Big chance in the game.
Exactly. And if we can't find that, and if we need, 10 or 15 chances to put one away against the bigger teams who are sturdy, who are better at the back, better at keeping the ball, that could come costly.
Indeed. 03717223344. England 3, Costa Rica 0. They weren't great, but there were one or two impressive performances, certainly first half. I thought Anthony Gordon was excellent. He made the first goal. I thought Rice and Bellingham, they linked up well. Anderson, always offering himself. The high width, I think Noni had an impact on the game. Still has to do a little better for me. Still has to make, as you highlighted there, Gemma, making that final decision, that final pass.
Get ready to get the ultimate football fan winning feeling with talkSPORT Win.
That's right, listen up. The FIFA World Cup kicks off. It has already kicked off, and we're sending you and a mate straight to New York to see England live with Haaaaas, the tournament's official match ball supplier. We're talking about a trip to watch England face Panama, return flights, hotel, match tickets, and spending money, and it's all taken care of. Plus, Haaaaas is throwing in the official try-on match ball and a fresh pair of boots. Ready to get that winning feeling? Here is how to enter, but hurry up, because entries close on Friday at 4 p.m. For your chance to win, head to talksportwin.com or text the word WIN to 83338. You text the word WIN to 83338. Text and online entries cost £2.50 plus your standard network rate, or you can call up. Call 0343 418 7260. Entries must be in by 4 p.m. this Friday. That's when you'll need to answer your phone if it rings. 18 plus, UK residents only. This is a talkSPORT promotion. Full T's and C's at talksportwin.com. For your chance to win, text the word WIN to 83338 now. Now, I do have some fantastic news. Our producer, Jack Hoban, is in the room, and he's going to be quizzing us, Dino.
All right, Jack, looking a bit serious. He looks a bit
serious.
doesn't he?
This is a serious part of the show.
It's a very serious part of the show.
Well, hurry up, because they're kicking off in 2 hours. South Korea, Czech Republic.
Yeah, we got time.
All right, go on.
We got time. So I've got a little bit of who am I? So I've got a football player in my head.
Yeah.
I'll start giving you clues, and you've got to figure out who the player
Do
is.
you know what's very impressive about this? To anybody who's listening, Jack has no notes. He's just come in here. He's completely freestyling this. You haven't written anything down. You're just doing this all off the top of the dome.
Yeah, I've got a player in my head.
Okay, right, let's go.
I like that, Jack.
This player is a striker who has played in the Premier League.
I'm going to need more.
Is he English?
No. He is a World Cup winner.
A World Cup winning centre
striker.
He's played in the Premier League. Can we ask questions, or do you keep?
Yeah, you can ask questions.
Is he currently playing in the Premier League?
No.
Did he play in London?
Yes.
Okay. Is he French?
Yes.
Is he Thierry Henry?
That's the wrong answer.
He's French?
Yep.
Is it Nicolas Anelka?
No. So this player has won 2 domestic league titles across the top 5 European leagues in 2 different countries.
And it's not Anelka. Is it Sylvain Wiltord?
No, it is not.
He played for Chelsea. We've worked that out.
No, he played for a London club.
A London club, so it's Arsenal. Just.
Oh, is it Olivier Giroud?
That is the correct answer.
That's it.
There we go.
And by the way, in between the quiz questions, I had a bet on who was the Atletico Madrid centre forward, Griezmann, in the World Cup.
Oh yeah.
I had a bet on him to finish top scorer, and he won it, didn't he? Giroud.
Giroud won it.
Didn't Giroud win it, or was it the other way around?
No. Giroud didn't win it. In 2018, Giroud was part of the French team that won the World Cup, and he didn't score a single goal at the tournament.
That was it.
Right. That's right.
He's still playing, isn't he?
But
He's still playing.
But to be perfectly honest, they do not win that World Cup without him.
No, I agree. He was a foil in the way that he was brilliant for Chelsea the year that we beat Arsenal 4-1 in Baku.
Yep.
He played with his back to goal, made Eden Hazard unplayable. Have you got another question for us, Jack?
Yes, I've got another player in my head.
Okay.
So this player is also a World Cup winner. He's a midfielder.
Is he a Premier League player?
Yes, he is.
Is he currently playing?
Yes, he is.
Okay, current.
Does he play for Chelsea?
No.
You were thinking Enzo Fernandez?
Yeah. Who's the other one? Oh, does he play for Liverpool?
Yeah, he does.
Is it McAllister?
Yeah, I've made that way too. All right, got a slightly more difficult one here.
Okay.
This player, again, is a World Cup winner.
Right.
He has also played in the Premier League.
Played in the Premier League, and he's a World Cup winner.
Is he currently playing, or is he retired?
He is retired.
Okay.
Right. Did he play in London?
No.
He's won the World Cup.
Did he play... So he's a Premier League player. Did he also play in La Liga?
Yes, he did.
Okay. Premier League and La Liga World Cup winner.
Right, think Real Madrid.
Real Madrid. The Premier League is Is the player French?
No.
Won the World Cup.
Won the World Cup. Played in the Premier League and in La Liga. Is he a midfielder?
Yeah. Not a central midfielder, though.
Oh.
Ooh.
Right. He never played in London.
He has played multiple positions in his career.
Did he also...
Did he play for Man United?
No.
Oh, I had Angel Di Maria in my head. That's annoying. Did he play for Liverpool?
No.
Where are these World Cup?
Man City.
Yes.
Ah, okay.
Wide midfield player. Won the World Cup. Let's think of him. Sane.
No. Sane. Sterling can't have won it. Sane can't have won it. Would David Silva have been? No, wouldn't have been, would he?
What about Alvarez?
Alvarez is a great shout.
No. This player has also won the European Championships.
Oh.
Won the World Cup and the Euros. Okay, so he has to be
Spanish.
French or Spanish, but and he's not playing now.
No, he's retired.
Okay, so he could be
Spanish.
French or Spanish.
Played for
Quite
Man
recently
City.
retired.
Wide
David
player.
Silva.
It's not David Silva.
Oh.
He has also played in defence before.
In defence.
Yep.
This is impossible. This is impossible. Right, we need more clues.
He played on the right-hand side.
For Man City. He played on the right-hand side. He's Spanish, and he played for
Right-hand
Man City, and he's played right back as well.
Played in defence.
Who did he push to right back? Who's he pushed to right back?
This player almost signed for Chelsea many years ago, but did not decide to go due to his homesickness.
Never. No, not Navas. Who on earth played for Chelsea? No, played for Man City.
Was a
World Cup.
wide player and played it occasionally at right back.
I don't know.
We should get this, Rory. Really.
Okay, right. We're not going home till we get it. Right. Come on. A Man City player.
There is a 14-year gap between him winning the World Cup and the European Championships. He's a player with longevity.
Who's 38? Something like that. Man City.
He never played for the big two in Spain.
So he played for Atletico Madrid.
No. You've come very, very close to this player.
This is appalling.
You just haven't locked him in.
Spanish Man City player.
Played for Valencia.
No. He didn't. I don't think he played under Guardiola, or if he did, it wasn't long. He was a Pellegrini player.
Oh.
Right, Jack, you're going to have to tell us.
It was Jesus Navas. You never locked him in.
I said him.
Never locked him in.
I said Navas.
No, because you went Navas. No, it can't be him.
I said Navas. That's appalling.
You've got
Jack,
done by
I don't
VAR
recognise the legitimacy of this quiz. But excellent work from you. Dean Saunders, it's been an honour. Thank you so much.
Thanks.
This has been the World Cup edition of the Sports Bar on talkSPORT. Next up, it is the masterful Ollie Klink.
What did we learn from last night? The reason I asked that is I was watching and I've said England from a long, long time ago. Maybe towards the end of qualifying, I thought England have got enough to win it, right?
Yes.
If Kane, Bellingham, the spine, and Declan Rice stays fit. I looked at the wingers, not necessarily at the left, because I think Rashford or Gordon are good enough. Either one of them I'll be happy with. But Noni Madueke's there to fill in for Saka. Saka isn't going to be fit, or isn't going to be fit enough. Just, you take it around the goalkeeper and you've got an open goal and it's crying out for you to hit it with your right and you hit it with your left. Yeah. I worry that a mistake like that in a nothing game, it doesn't matter. I don't care. But what it did show me is, why hasn't he got enough composure to slot that home? That's a worry.
I would use my weaker foot there. That's the opposite side for me. I was always confident on my weaker foot just to use it. But Rodgers misses the chance as well where you go through 1v1 and he hits it.